Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in again with some more EGL One action. Season 2 is coming down to the wire. We're getting down to where the real winners and losers of the season get determined. We are in the top 6. We already have the other 4 teams that have, sort of made their way close to the podium. And now we're going to be figuring out who's going to join them into the top 4. Right now, we're going to have a game between Exdee and the side of Punx Interactive Gaming. Both of them who have come very long way considering their journeys in Season 1. And let's see if they can make it all the way to the top. To join us on this journey, it's going to be myself, Snare, and of course, not a hero, the genius, the brains behind SA Dota. How are you doing today, my friend?
What's happening, my man? Nah, like I've been waiting for this the whole week. We had a proper matchup on Tuesday, but this is the one I've been drooling over. This is the one that's been juicy because there has been some upsets between these two sides. There has been tournaments where Punx has actually knocked XD out this year, so recent results. But most recent, I think XD has come into form. I think they've solidified their playstyle. They're probably the slight favorites coming into this. But I had a quick chat with some of the XD guys during the week, and they seem confident but not comfortable. So they know this Punx team is not something to take lightly. They can't drop them. They need to take them seriously. And Punx, man, Phycodamage in form. Jace is doing cool stuff on POS 5, and then Astra has given them a new dynamic. So team has come a long way.
It really has, right? And like you mentioned, they've gone from this team that was just, they have a really cool name and a nice logo, and a cool abbreviation. It is nice, but not much more than that, right? That was sort of like the limit of what the discussion was about this team. But now it's very, very different. Now you're like, okay, they can take games off their XDs. They're here playing not just to, it's nice that we're in the tournament, but they're already in a situation, right, where they're contesting and trying to get into that top 4 berth. They're already in a situation where they could easily be contesting to get into the money. So it is very, very close, and we've just seen a lot of improvement from this team. And this is kind of like what we like to see, right? Season in, season out, that we have these teams that they return the next season but get better, stick together, which is, I'm sure you remember the hard days of SA Dota, where the moment you had one bad tournament, just bad, everybody's going their separate ways. It's fine, we're done now. But
the first time ever in my entire playing career that my team stuck together was 2018, and I started playing in 2012. So 2018 was the first time, like after the season, people just didn't go, okay, I'm done, cheers.
Yep.
Or the classic, I'm taking a break, and then next season he's in another team. Like, okay, what happened there? But
I mean, these guys are from you.
Yeah, probably. Toxic captain, what's going on? But anyway, Punx, man, this team is stuck together. They've added Astra because Gambino has kind of stopped playing Dota, and I think he's brought in a new dynamic to their team. But apart from that, I think they've gotten better. Like from a rank perspective, from a skill perspective, they've got some fresh ideas. I think they solidified a bit. Like Nemi is still a youngster. Like I remember speaking to him last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think he finished school last year. So the guy is still very young, very new, and this is EGL Season 2. So he's got some games under his belt now. Like he's played some big tournaments. He's played these big teams. Like from a carry perspective, he's learned a lot and he's growing as well. But let's talk about XD. Like this team, like I remember 2018, except for B, the rest of the squad was kind of together, and they were playing under, I think, Aeon. And I remember at the 2019 VS Gaming Championships looking at this team, and I was like, who are these people? And now I'm like, okay, like should have, like they are solidified in the scene now. All immortal players. Like I think Baron's like high divine. He's on the verge of breaking through. But Remedy, Immortal top 1000. B, Immortal top 1000. Junaid is Immortal. And they've got their play style. They know what they want to do. And they play some good Dota, man. They've got some wacky ideas. They're the only team that's run Vengeful Spirit 3 this tournament.
Yeah, and Venge 3 is crazy right now, right? It's pretty good. So I think that's one of the things I've been loving about seeing XD over the last few years, right? We've seen, they kind of had this history for a while of players that were at other organizations and didn't want to, say, be playing for an Energy or a Bravado or whatever. You'd make your way to XD. But now they are a solid team. They also stuck together, perfected their craft. And I think of all of the teams that are in this tournament, right? And this includes your Sinister Fives, your Energy Esports. Like, they probably play the most Dota together. They're always grinding it out, this XD team, and they're doing it together. I think that's also quite important to get that team cohesion going. And, you know, it's interesting because I think this is going to be a matchup largely of team cohesion, right? Exdee, of course, like you mentioned, are favored. They're the team that has the higher overall ratings, the higher rankings, the better overall matchup historically. However, Punx, this is, up and comers are always dangerous. I mean, up and comers can win TI kind of thing, right? Kind of situation. You can literally never ignore players like this, especially when it's young carry players. I feel like right now this patch really does favor, like, because you can't play that many range carries. All the really good carries in the game seem to be like very aggressive. You have to do stuff on the map. And all these young carry players that are hungry for the game don't just want to sit in the corner farming for 40 minutes, but want to be involved in the fighting. Seem to just have such a good time playing Dota right now. And Nemi feels like that's kind of his patch, right? And that's his playstyle generally.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen like items, exactly what you spoke about. Like that's why items like Armlet and Echo Saber are suddenly back in again, because these are items that allow you to do stuff early. They don't hinder your carry from a farming perspective. They give him like little buffs towards mana pools and armor and stuff. But like Echo Saber, like Armlet, all these little Falcon Blade, how popular has that become after an entire patch not being touched? So yeah, these little items just to, if the carry player decides I need to join this fight, that they have like a form of damage, a form of sustain. So definitely a faster meta, and we do see it with the higher teams. I think apart from that Energy XD series, all the games have relatively been like 30 to 35 minutes, and then you kind of like, okay, the winner is there. But a big factor tonight for me though is, if you, I spoke about this last time. If you ask the guys on XD who's the best player on your team, 90% of them will say Ski. Ski is not playing tonight. They're using Jarek in his place as the pos 4. So will that play a factor in an elimination match? Jarek, high rank player. He's been on the scene for a while. He was with the previous iteration of XD before this one came along, and he kind of stuck with them in the backgrounds. So how is he going to fit in? Because I know he used to mainly be a mid player or an offlane player. So how will he slot into this pos 4 role? It's big shoes to fill, Snare. Like Ski's been on fire.
Ski has been on fire, and I think the big thing right now is you're mentioning the meta itself is faster overall. Whenever you have faster metas, you really do rely on your pos 4 hero, not just to solidify your offlane for you, but to make sure that the early moves on the map aren't just being made by your mid player, right? That there's that extra layer of dependability, some way to make things happen on the map. So without him, it really will have a big impact, right? And of course, this is also where XD, though they might be confident and feeling good about themselves, that's going to be a worry in the back of their mind. Like, do we have the necessary cohesion to play with Jarek in the same way that we normally play with Skion? Will we be exploited by Punx, who, though we might have now the skill advantage, undoubtedly they're going to have the cohesion advantage going into this one. So now it becomes extremely drop dependent. And I kind of feel like...
Ski has been the cornerstone of kind of like their gank squads. Like he's the one that gives the vision, makes the space, and then that's what they go into. So I don't know how they're going to lane this, and usually offlaners can move to the pos 4 role quite easily. So I don't doubt Jarek can do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see B move back to his old pos 4 role and they maybe use Jarek as a 5 this game. So that might be an option.
They might do that. I feel like, B also played pos 4 for long enough that he should be pretty skilled at the role. I'm not expecting him to be lax in any regard in that capacity. So as we get into it, though, I do also feel like, drafts lately, so many games I've seen just come down purely to the draft. Like 9-10 picks and really change Dota 2 right now. And it's kind of crazy just how many heroes can make that difference in the matchups. So what do you think is going to be... It feels like every game we've seen so far here in EGL Season 2 has had this one hero that sort of defines the series. Both teams either contest heavily over that hero, or that hero is the one that just runs away with the entire series. So
Snap Fire Tyrant.
Oh, come on. That's no. That's too easy. Everybody's picking Snap Tyrant.
Snap Fire Tyrant. Okay, Void Spirit.
Oh my god, don't even say it. Void Spirit, Ember Spirits.
XP's been one of the teams that are actually giving the Void, though. They're not banning it, and then they're throwing this Monkey King for Junaid, which he plays really well. So they have done that effectively, and then also we've seen Punx pick Shadow Fiend into the Void Spirit. So it's definitely... We're getting to a stage now where people are realizing that, hey, listen, these heroes are not untouchable. These heroes dumpster them in lane, and if there's not a favorable matchup for players... Like, we've spoken about this so many times. Like, if Phycodamage does well, Punx does well. Like, he enables the team. So, second pick, going to be highly contested. Like, both teams will probably want it, because then they get that counter pick at the end. But we saw Punx as well, like run pos 5 Tidehunter, like pick it first phase with the Snapfire. Everyone's like, okay, it's Snap Tide off lane. And Psych, yeah, like 100%. Like I think they drafted a Beastmaster on top of it. So yeah, and they laid their stuns well, and there was a pretty convincing result against Duck there. So massive hero. Is there a broken hero at the moment like there was in TI, for instance? Like you had this Wolf Fight Tiny combo, you had the Magnus Horn Toss. By the way, it's horrible at the moment.
Thank God.
It's so horrible. I've been trying to play it, and every time I Horn Toss someone, I get duelsed or I get hexed or by the person that I'm Horn Tossing. So
what? You're just like, I don't feel like this is supposed to be happening.
No, you're busy Horn Tossing Lion, and then he hexes you. Like, what's going on? And you just die. So it's really not that good anymore. Like just a proper blink skewer at the moment is better because it doesn't give people a chance to react. So I do still think Mag has his place because the hero wasn't bad before people started doing this. It was just broken when they did start doing it. And that's the thing with these patches. People tend to, the hero was nerfed, we can't play this anymore. But it's not dead. It's just not broken.
It's just a normal hero now.
Yeah.
There's 2 heroes. I actually think right now there's no core heroes that are busted. But I think there's actually 3 heroes that I think are kind of... Actually, no, not ET anymore. ET was a bit busted, but now it's actually okay.
His nerfs were actually like significant.
Yeah, it was deep, yeah. But there are 2 heroes that I think are actually legitimately busted right now. One of them with a caveat. Weaver, once you get Ags, that hero's stupid, honestly. It's like the support Weaver rushing like the soldier and then Ags. It's a bit much. It's a bit much, honestly. I feel like there should be... I mean, I know they nerfed the cooldown, right? Remember when it used to be 12 seconds?
But it has its weaknesses. Like, we just had a full conversation on how, because the game is so fast, your POS 4 needs to be able to play fast. And now you get this Weaver as a POS 4. And it's not a hero that's going to set up kills for you. It can be annoying.
Fine, put him on POS 5. Put him on POS 5. Let him chill. He'll eventually get there.
KC Weaver. Like he's going to have like a 55-minute Ags. Like, guys, it's coming. It's coming, don't worry.
We're almost there.
Yeah. You don't play late game for your carry, you play late games for your POS 5.
Exactly. The other hero I kind of feel is a bit busted on the POS 5 though. And this one is not, with no caveats. I honestly think Disrupt is a broken hero right now. That hero feels too versatile. Just pick it. It's great against the best offlaner in the patch, Tidehunter right now, in my opinion.
All the spirits.
And it's good against Tidehunter, good against all the spirits, good against heroes like Puck, Queen of Pain, which are pretty much rounding out the other mid heroes that get played. Most of the carries that get played right now are all melee heroes, with the exception of like Drow Medusa. So
he is a hero that everyone likes playing on the front foot though. Like Disruptor is the most broken hero when your team is going forward. But
absolutely. You're losing.
Yeah, he doesn't do much. Like, I'm gonna buy ulti this creep wave, guys. I need to wave clear. But I agree with you. Like, because the game is so fast, if you get that slight edge, Disruptor is a support that can keep that edge for you.
Absolutely. The third one, gosh, I had a small brain fart here.
You said 3, Snare.
I did say 3. Void Spirit, sorry, third one. Okay. Yeah, Void Spirit, stupid. Yeah, that hero shouldn't be.
He's just versatile. Like his item builds are versatile. Like he lanes well.
Yeah.
But let's get into the serious business though. Like we have a cheeky draft going on.
We do indeed have a cheeky draft. Game 1 here of Exdee versus Punx is going to take place right now. The loser of this is out. All they have to play for is in the 5th-6th matchup to try and see which one of them is going to get the 5th slot against Face It Boys. But the tournament run will then be over. Let's see which one of them is going to keep going to take on WRG on the run to the podium, or who gets dumped out here today. Let's go. It's Exdee versus Punx. And Punx, what a surprise! First pick Tidehunter. Who could have ever seen this coming here?
Where's the Snapfire? Exdee has to take Snap now. They can't just give Snap now. They've banned Beastmaster plus the Night Stalker, which is kind of like Astro's heroes, and it kind of forces them maybe to take this Tidehunter, so it's not a POS 5. But they instantly take the Rubik, which we've seen against these Tidehunter picks. And the Rubiks have been good. They've actually been stealing Ravage consistently, which I'm very surprised about.
What's been weird though is that like we've seen, it's actually been really funny to me, right? That we see so many of these Rubiks getting the Ravage steal, right? And given how often Tidehunters get played, you ask yourself, that shouldn't really be happening as often as it is. But what I find hilarious, right, about how often we see the Rubik emerging in this exact same position, right? Where they're like, well, we have the Tidehunter on the other side, we want a big counter pick, let's make it happen for ourselves. They get it. It's been winning a lot of games, but a lot of games that this Rubik has been winning hasn't necessarily been against the Tidehunter. I think it might have like a slightly losing record against it. It's kind of hilarious. We'll have to check in between the games, but Exdee, make sure that they get the support duo. Lots of aggression. Rubik as a 5, got the Tusk as the 4 right now. So this is, if not necessarily a hero that, you know, Skiahorn would be playing if he was on the team, this is certainly a Jirak hero. He plays this also in the off lane all the time in his pubs. So very, very proficient on playing the Tusker.
Yeah, so it also opens up the draft a bit. Like, Luna's a hero that likes Tuskar. Both of them benefit from the aura. And then tag team, obviously. And then, like, we've also seen some like, wonky combos, like Tusk plus Io in the off lane. And then you've kind of got, like, a bully lane against the right matchups. But we see Undyne taken out. There's a Dragonite ban, which is pretty interesting. I think Exdee has picked Dragonite once, but that's probably something for the lane matchup. That might indicate a Puck pick for Phyco, or yeah, it's definitely Puck. The Dragonite is usually for the Puck because you just can't do anything to the DK.
It could potentially also be for Lina as well, right? Like, this could run this Lina mid. Like, Lina you still win the matchup versus DK, but you don't get to play, you don't get to force him out of the lane, right? You can't do anything to really threaten him. And I guess, like, one of the things I've seen from Phycodamage a lot is he always likes being able to force you out of the lane and also be able to make the first big rotation on the map. And DK just, you know, sits there, and you kind of have to decide, all right, when I make that rotation, I'm going to probably lose half HP on the tower. Forces you into some bad decisions. So that could also probably be the rationale behind this ban.
It's also a body, and it's something that can set up plays for them. Like, Tuskar is a playmaker in the early on with Snowball, but when you get to this mid-game stage, your Tusk is more like a counterplay. Like, you want to be using that Snowball to save people. Like, if Lina hits a LSA on someone, you want to get them into the Snowball. If Tidehunter ravages, you want that Tusk to blink and Snowball the 2 people that are stunned. So just getting like Dragonite out, because he's a secondary playmaker. He's also a hero that can then go in first, so Tusk can make those engagements happen.
Speaking of engagement, we're going to see how Exdee decide to also buttress their team fight here. You never want to be playing heroes like Tusk, Rubik, and they're the only initiators, so I think we still need some beef here in the off lane to help them out in the squad.
Immediately taking the Mars out, because that's your secondary or your first phase of initiation. So is the Dragonite. So I won't be surprised if they take out something else here that's pretty, like, in your face. Shaker pos 3, Shaker Rubik is not a bad lane. You move the Tusk to a 5. B is a very proficient Tusk player, and Tusk Luna lane is pretty strong.
Tusk Luna is it's terrible.
That is definitely like a possibility. So they can do like Shaker pos 3. Like, Baron does like his Darkseer, but I don't think he just Lifestealer has been banned. But Nemi is a really proficient Jug player, and it hasn't been banned. If they pick Darkseer, he's just going to pick up Juggernaut.
I suppose there's still also the option for him playing this Monkey King in that lane, right? If they really want to. They could even hold it as a flex pick to see where they put it into the draft later. Haven't seen Exdee play that much Monkey, though, on Juliet in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's his mid, maybe. I haven't seen Remedy play much Monkey in the safe lane at all.
Let's see, we can probably have the stats folk pull that up for us. Also, I did find out that in this tournament, in EGL Season 2, the Rubik versus Tidehunter matchup has happened 4 times, with all 4 results going the way of Rubik every single time.
Like I said, like, teams have been doing this and it's been working. They've been consistently stealing these ravages. Like, and I guess that comes back to a few patches ago where they took away the status resistance reduction from Rubik, and they just made it like cast range. Like, cool. So I guess it's easier to steal. Sanking.
SK will emerge for us. Okay.
This has to be a Tusk 5 now, eh? Like, I can't see Tusk sanking lane even if this is like a Lina pos 5, even a Tide pos 5 if they want to do that against the Tusk sanking. But like I said, it keeps the draft open. We spoke about Luna. What other heroes could potentially benefit from Tusk in the safe lane? Dra's been banned. Weaver's been banned.
Is Medusa still in the game? She still is.
You don't get Exdee hero though.
Yeah, it does feel a bit too slow, right, for Remedy's kind of playstyle.
Like his slowest carries is probably like Wraith King and those types of heroes, and then they still contribute with like a stun. So
I mean, Wraith King could be an option, right? You often see that hero emerge against like big AoE teamfight, and they definitely have that in space right now. It would be really nice to have Wraith King to tank up some of these large spells, Rubik to be able to steal those spells, and you still have the counter initiation. You know, often these games with the Wraith King, you die, your team has a hard time getting to you. This would not be a problem in this game for Exdee, right? Between Tusk and King, lots of mobility, lots of ways to disjoint enemies around you, and they can easily just set up right on top of you for a fight. So that could be an option for them as well here. And it's something that we've seen them do in the past as well, which I think is also quite important, especially when you have a sub in your team, that everybody else is playing as comfortable the game as humanly possible.
Exdee will do Luna here. Like, I can't see them not doing Luna. Like, this Tidehunter doesn't really have a strong laning partner yet. There's the Jug. Yeah, Nemi Jug coming out. Sand King rough lane now.
It's gonna be a sentry battle, eh? Like, I don't even think you take the finale. You just max Sandstorm and just like try and get as much out of the lane as possible. Jug plus Grim.
It's very scary.
There's 2 heroes in this game which I love having on my team, but I hate laning with, and that's Rubik and Lion. Because I kind of feel like they don't do anything in the laning phase. They don't have spells that do damage. Like, Lion Stun does like 60 damage, and Rubik Zap does the same. Okay, with Rubik, you're at least trading damage away as well because of the damage reduction that it does. But like after that, they don't do anything. And two heroes like Jug plus Grim, your Rubik's just gonna have to right click, and I think Grim beats him in that battle.
I mean, you beat him in the right-click battle. The spell damage battle is quite insane because of the impact you can have in this lane. And it also feels like the kill threat that's there from Exdee with Rubik Sand King, it's nothing compared to Juggernaut Grimstroke. Also a lot easier any given time that there's a rotation that comes in from this mid lane, because it does seem apparent that Lina will be in that role this game. I'd be very surprised if they go in for it. Like, I mean, they still have the option, right, to play as a 4 here, but they have so much magic damage on all of their heroes. The lanes just seem so rough, at least at the very beginning now.
And Jug is a hero that can semi-fight Luna. Like, he doesn't really care about her ulti. Like, he's got 2 ways to like dodge it. Omni slash plus spin. So I think they should still go Luna here. Jug carries, like, he struggles to keep up with the Luna's farm. And they gotta face the Void. Their lanes are so wonky, and they don't have anything into Chrono.
Yesterday I was casting some Dream League, right? And we saw like 3 back-to-back faceless Voids. They lost every game, and one of the reasons why they kept losing is this hero. Whenever I see this hero emerge, right, especially in contexts like this where you don't have easy damage into the bubble right now, it's so reliant not just on the hero having a good time to start the game, but if you don't get a good bubble, that's it. The fight's over. It's done. Like,
or remember the good old days where Void was an offlaner and you just pick Phoenix with them, and Phoenix with max Sunray. Chrono Sunray, someone dies. And like something as simple as that is missing from Exdee's draft at the moment.
Bro, like the game that we saw Void losing. Void lost, right? This is the draft that Void had. Void had a Skywrath Mage, a Lina, there was a Monkey King, I think, in the game as well. It was like, okay, the damage is there. Like, the damage is not the problem. Just it feels like the way the hero is doesn't.
I do like Void against Jug though.
Yeah, but like it's the one matchup, and where's the damage though? Like, let's assume that they get the Chrono out, right? Onto
tanking Epis and just blinks into Chrono. That's your player right here. Like saying he just blinks into Chrono with Epi on. No, but I agree with you. Like it seems like this Void is gonna not be contributing in team fights. He's gonna be farming for like 25 minutes, and then he's gonna be trying to use Chrono to solo kill people. Like that's kind of his role this game. It's not to combo with his team. Where on the other side you've got Juggernaut. Every time Omni slashes up, it's basically go time for his team. He gets Inkswell, and they just run at you. So I'm not. Maybe they've got a last pick in the bag that's going to surprise us a bit. But what are they doing for Phycodamage?
Let's see.
Still there. Shadow Fiend is still there.
Ember's still there, so they can at least get to where the Rubik is. Let's see. You know what hero that they could actually, I could see for Exdee? Like, we're thinking of Phycodamage with the 15 seconds, but I could easily see them deciding for a hero like OG here. Get themselves that big burst inside the bubble.
Yeah. Even like I wouldn't even mind Death Prophet. I know the hero's not very popular, but like she's quite tanky. There's like 2 strength heroes on that side, I guess it makes it quite a good Rubik game, but Bane.
All right, so we do have the Lina mid.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually another hero that I think this hero is underpicked. Like
This is free MMR. This is what that hero is.
Bane is so good right now, dude.
Yeah.
All our pos
You were
5
talking-
players in chat. Listen,
You were
go play
talking
Bane.
about pos 5 Weaver getting eggs, well, pos 5 Bane getting eggs.
Oh my god, dude.
That is that's what dreams are made of right there. I'm gonna grip you and you can't cancel it.
Nothing you can do. You just have to watch me.
Take that. Oh,
No.
okay.
So this Bane gives them setup in this game with Nightmare, right? You can set up on Lina, you can set up for Grimstroke combinations with Grimstroke. Normally you don't play this hero for the Soulbind anymore, but
for Exdee though, sorry.
on SF in this mid lane.
Mm.
It gives them burst into bubble, good lane against this Lina, good scaling for later. Gonna be the
Let's-
rainbow pony though. I don't know about this. I always feel that Leshrac, okay, they have task, right? I have this philosophy that Leshrac should only ever be picked under two
Get the
conditions. When there's like either a massive save, an Oracle, and a Baron, something like that, or just like 4 other heroes of beef so that nobody can actually get to this hero. Neither of those conditions really seem to be filled here. You only have the Tusk to save you, and I don't know. Oh,
Or the Faceless Void defensive Chrono on the left track.
on the left, you know, it's gonna be cool. I mean, that's actually not, you know, it was a bit of a meme with the Sand King, but it's not actually a meme with the Leshrac, right? We have seen that before, where you activate Pulse Nova with the
Run
with
into
the dub,
Chrono.
and you just run into the Chrono, yeah, and you're like, let's go. You know,
It
that
is,
one will kill everyone.
it is damage into the bubble. I'm just not. This is a hard Bane game. Like they've got cancel on every single one of the heroes. So, I don't know. I still think Punx's draft is easier to execute, and I can kind of clearly see them having a like how they're going to take objectives, how they're going to play this map. Like this Void pick is out of sorts for me a little bit.
Yeah, not a fan of Void right now. And I just feel like it's always a bad thing when Punks don't really necessarily need the ultimate help, right, in terms of allowing them to fight, but they don't require them. For Exdee, if they don't have Bubble Up, I don't think they'd really want to go for many engagements unless Baron Biceps finds an amazing initiation with Blink Dagger. But this Void does seem to really mess up their timing. The Leshrac is in a very precarious position. They don't have that much reach, to be fair, on the side of Punks, but if they ever do reach him, he just becomes food in this game. There's a lot of damage that comes out here. I also feel like
For the side of Exdee, though, I think there is some proper kill squads, though. Like, Tusk plus Lesh can kill, Sand King plus Lesh can kill. The problem I'm seeing with that is, like, Lesh has to be in each one of those combinations. And there's Sand King obviously, like, blows Epi with Tuskar, then, yeah, they'll pop someone. But, yeah, Junaid's going to have a massive game here. I think they're really going to have to play off this Leshrac. And he's also their only form of tower push. Like, Faceless Void doesn't really hit towers.
not at all.
So Punks can kind of just react to where Leshrac is on the map, and they know that's where Exdee's going to be because they can't take a building without him.
And I think to make matters worse as well is that Junaid, given how important he is for the game, we already know that on the side of Punks, we're going to have Magic Immunity naturally for Nemi on his Juggernaut. BKB on Phycodamage will come immediately after the Boots of Travel. And Astra, this does feel like the kind of game where you try to get some util going for the side hunter. You get more survivable, like Soul Ring into HOD, I'm imagining. And then you get Blink Dagger. That's so many ways to mitigate the damage of this grenade.
I really like what you just said there. Like HOD on Tidia, like Faceless Void does not like playing into HOD early. Like if he did that, what 33 does on his Tide, like you don't buy any starting items and you just buy the Helm of the Overlord immediately when you have enough money, and you just rush this HOD, then 5 minutes into the game you have it, and Faceless Void can't win. He's not doing it though. He's going Soul Ring 1 boot standardized. So it has to be a comfort thing though as well. Like you have to have like played Tide HOD quite a bit too, and in this matchup. But like Faceless Void hates an early HOD in its face. You just get an armor creep. Like his bashes don't do anything to you. Like you trade efficiently, and it's good against the Bane because like with the Bane because like you could just sleep into like a Centaur Stomp or something.
This Nightmare, honestly, in this game feels like it's going to do the most for the entire team. Like, anytime he shows up with Nightmare, it's useful everywhere, right? Nightmare into Spin, Nightmare into Ravage, Nightmare into LSA, Nightmare into Phantom's Embrace. It's just so many spells. Nightmare into Inkswell. And I was actually going to mention this in the draft. We don't see this often these days that you play the Grimstroke utilizing the Soulbind all that often. But in this game, we have some pretty sick Soulbind combos. Double grip, double Laguna Blade. Woo.
Double gush, like that double brain sap, like all these little things add up. So no, they definitely add up. So, and the reason I like Bane as like a 5, he's a 4 in this game. But when grip goes out, it's panic stations for the enemy team, and you have to commit like stuns you would want to put onto like a core to stop this Bane from ulting. And that's kind of with Snapfire as well. Snapfire is even worse because it's further away. Like, guys, where's the Snapfire? Like, this lava is destroying us. We need to stop him from ulting, or we need to run. And Bane kind of functions in the same way, because if it's on a carry or mid, you need to stop this Bane from ulting. Like, you can't just leave him.
Yep, you have to do something about Bane. Bane is one of those heroes that just tends to force reactions out of his opponents. Not just in the later game, but we see that Bane tends to do so in the laning phase as well. Immaculate at being able to trade out. Very few supports can keep up with the damage output that he brings to the lane, especially not a hero like Rubik, who's going to be the one trading here. And he's happy, Bane, as long as he's eating all the Fade balls, because he knows Astra playing 1v1 versus this Faceless Void. He's going to be very happy on the Tidehunter, especially as he gets more and more levels.
What I'm also like really... Exdee did what we spoke about. Like, B has moved back to his old solidified pos 4 role, and Jarek is playing pos 5 Rubik. Interesting.
Comfort, man. Gotta make sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible. So the B Tusk here in this side of the map, he's going to be helping Burn Biceps, and like you mentioned, he hasn't even bothered with the points in Caustic Finale. He sees this lane, he's like, come on, I need an escape and I need a way to farm the lane. Caustic will not help me, Sandstorm will. And thus far, they are winning the sentry battle. And B is, look how hard he's committed for this. The double sentries in the lane to make 100% sure they have this vision control.
Like we spoke about, we said the Sand King versus Jug is a rough lane, but if it becomes a sentry battle, it can be in his favor. Yeah. So just 100% trying to secure this for them. It's the right thing to do. So Sand King is your 10% here. Oh, here we go.
They might get this kill though. Tag team activated by BE, and they will find the kill. Jace takes a tumble there. Nemi will find some revenge with the spin, but unfortunately, you know, normally you're like, oh, you're an offlaner, you traded for support. That is not a good trade, but you got the first blood. Worth it any day of the week. Great way to start the game off right now for Exdee in the top lane.
Yeah, and it's that additional extra 100 gold there for the trade. I think they're pretty fine with that. They're onto the board. They got the first blood. Bit of morale for the team as well. And interesting that they, but we saw the strength of this Juggernaut as well in this lane. Like tag team, Jug just spins you. Like he'll trade that damage.
Actually, BE almost got hit by the Stroke of Fate. Would have actually died if he got connected onto it. That with the level 2 spin being available from Nemi, doesn't end up happening. It will keep his life, and Nemi still at full HP. Will keep farming. So one thing they will need, though, it's not a Jug that's just going to win this game out. They'll need the advantage of this Lina from middle, but she might die. Phycodamage, almost getting solo killed here by Junaid. One more right click and Leshrac will make it happen. How did that take place? The split earth connected at the very edge of the range, and somehow Junaid. I don't see often Lina losing mid lanes, and I even more rarely see her dying first in a 1v1 matchup.
And that's a big confidence booster for Exdee. Like, everyone's been speaking about Junaid, what form he's been in. Getting that kill, like, Junaid must be so hyped for that. Did he suicide the tower actually afterwards? I didn't see. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He's fine. Stop lane. Oh, Baron Biceps. Oh my gosh, that was such a big kill. They killed both heroes in the top lane. Nemi and Jace. They almost kept Baron Biceps alive. They saved him with a snowball in a really cool play, but Jace not only killed him, but not happened before he died. He salved, and the salve got cancelled by Stroke of Fate. So, that is a very painful start. Everything was looking so good in the top lane, but like you mentioned, the strength of the Nemi Juggernaut with the Grimstroke behind him, a little bit too strong. So, you know, for Exdee, they got confidence from the mid lane solo kill. Yeah, that's not going to be good for the confidence bank in this situation.
I 100% agree. If we spoke about Phycodamage, we also spoke a little bit about Nemi, and if he gets rolling on this Jug, I think it's his most played hero or his most played competitive hero. We've even seen teams like First Phase ban it, so you kind of know that if he gets good, like, he's gonna be comfortable on this Jug and all to put the team on his back. So
But the last hits are pretty even if you're looking at the graphs. Like Remedy in the bot lane here, trading efficiently as well, not doing too badly.
They lose Jarek though, and not really much he can do about that. And he's just
Rubik things.
just Rubik things. What can we do? And oh, Remedy does find at least some revenge here, bringing down Nibbling Monkey. It's a little bit unfortunate that he died there. He had the mango almost ready to go with Brain Swap, and mid lane we get a kill. Junaid yet again bringing down Phycodamage. Just Lina's died twice in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Lina's level 5, Junaid's almost level 7.
Oh god.
Like this is poof. Okay, let's try good hero. Oh, I don't think it goes down as well.
How did
Rubik, great laning hero.
Yeah, you heard it here first. You know, #1 lane hero. Pick Rubik, win lane.
Rubik or Lion, guys. Just not when you play with me.
Yeah, if you're playing with Notahero, make sure that you lose him that lane. Thank you very much. Don't give him any support.
Yeah, you can literally play techies. I'll prefer it over a Lion in my lane.
I'm very surprised they got that kill though. Like Astra, he has a Ring of Health, has Soul Ring. He might have only gotten a Ring of Health back home, but how on earth did he find himself getting brought down? Remedy must have been just getting really lucky with these bashes. He's already up on 2 kills right now, so...
At all?
Nah, he's fine. He's fine.
Oh,
B was here. Buck rolls it up as well. They actually might turn. But Earth gonna come out, gonna connect directly out of the Phycodamage. The snowball will be there to hold him in place. And Junaid not only survives the attempt on his life, survives through the Laguna Blade, but he also gets the turnaround kill. Punx will be able to, at the very least, get another kill on the top lane on the Sand King, but in the grand scheme of things, Exdee are happy with this because Junaid is now also pushing this tier 1 tower middle. And as we lose Bane down bottom, Rubik, man, what an amazing laning hero. He's just doing such a great job.
Yeah, Fabled. So strong. They're playing this really well. We saw Baron go down, but they sacrificed. There was kind of the rotation. That's just good play by Punx because obviously Phyco called that the Tusk was middle. They got the kill there. Chain stunned very nicely onto the Lina, like not allowing her to get any of her spells off to kind of maybe try and get this counter kill on Junaid. But chained it very nicely. Shards into the Split Earth, into the Snowball. Leshrac pumping damage. What is Lina gonna go first item here just to like try and stay alive against this Lesh?
I think you have to go the normal build on the hero, but you might be forced into going BKB earlier than normal instead of going BTs first.
It's like Lina is having a good time, goes Boots of Travel into like straight Shadow Blade. You don't even see the Yules anymore, but I do think he needs the Yules this game. It's also pretty good against Void. You can use someone that's like you can use them in Chrono.
I saw Yules on Tidehunter yesterday, so that could be an option.
It's catch,
As
man.
the
You don't have to
Nemi?
blow Ravage to
Nemi?
catch a... Oh, oh.
Getting Nami slash, GG slash onto B, and we'll be able to secure the kill off of him. Lina will end up getting the deny on middle in the meantime, whilst Nemi, they're looking for more. Phantom's Embrace will prevent the escape coming out of Baron Biceps, and yet another kill happening in the top lane. So despite all the positive wins they're getting from mid, lots of kills onto Lina and early tier 1 tower being pushed. You mentioned that Nemi, one of his most played heroes, is this Juggernaut, and he's off to a flying start. You literally couldn't create a better start for him if you tried in this game.
I know Baron's stunned towards B there to try and save him, but I kind of think because of the dev set he's given him the lane, you kind of just sacrifice the Tusk in that scenario and try and get your items up. He's not doing too badly. He's on 3.1k net, just still above the Tide, just below the Lina. But
Speaking of Tide, he's getting brought down bottom. Jirak, yet again, getting a kill because he's the best early game hero in the game of Dota 2, bar none. This Rubik is amazing.
we're not gonna stop with this, are we?
Never.
Every time before 10 minutes, Rubik does something, we're gonna be like, yo, this hero is so broken.
Dude.
Whatever you...
Snowball,
so he's gonna change his top 3 soon.
No, let's see if he can be useful in this fight, because he's stolen the Dragon Slave and he's used it quite well to get the turnaround kill onto Phycodamage, and they're the ones that invaded the triangle and they come away somehow still alive. I really thought B was gonna die there, surrounded by Phycodamage as well as this young Grimstroke, but this Leshrac
is playing the Hunt Phyco game. That's what this is. It's like we're not gonna like give Phycodamage like a snowballing start. Excuse the Tusk pun, but anyway, they just gonna keep hunting him. Like they're gonna get vision down in these areas.
If Phyco's not in the lane, where is he? He's farming small camp, he's farming jungle camps. Leshrac is strong at the moment. He's even got a little Manta rune bottled there, like an illusion rune. And mid tower is down. Map is open for them. They can make these moves.
And what's terrifying about it is that now that they can make these moves, they can begin invading this triangle. They don't even have the Maelstrom yet on the Nemi Juggernaut, so they haven't really started stacking in earnest to try and make sure that they can get the farm for the Juggernaut later. So
Well, you say this, but he's got is that a quarterstaff on the courier?
not his. I'm saying for Nemi. Is this a quarterstaff? What? Let's see.
Oh.
No.
No, sorry. No, I was looking at Void's courier.
But what I mean is that, like, now that they can do this, they're just going to take over this entire triangle. It's very difficult now for them to start stacking. For Pig, that means also not only is Juggernaut going to be stuck farming the top side of the map instead of being able to farm triangle, but it also means Lina has fewer places to go to catch up. And she needs so much help to be able to catch up in this game.
Nemi and Lina now have to leech each other's farm to get this Lina back in the game, which is not ideal. This is kind of the phase like, hey, our Jug had a really good start. We can put tempo on the map with this Lina. Jug is going to accelerate. He can actually scale with this Void and then fight him. But now they're going to have to pull some resources into Phyco. It's either going to have to be like 2 smoke ganks back to back once Laguna is up and try and secure him those kills, or they're going to have to give him space to farm. But the problem with that is Gripstroke, Tide, and Bane don't kill.
Yep.
Like, yes, you can probably grab someone with, and then Inkswell run in, and the 2 supports can do some damage, but if that person has any form of backup, Ravage has to be used, and then there's still no damage follow-up. Like, they're going to have a lack of damage with, unless it's like a double grip, but Ravage being used and Jug's not there, there's not going to be much damage coming out.
Yeah, especially because we've had Phycodamage have such a rough time. He's going to be very, very careful about showing up to these early fights. Definitely wants BTs first, then we'll look towards his... I think you go BKB quickly here. I don't think he can risk playing without it, but either way, it does mean that we're still delayed on damage coming in from this Lina. It's only really going to be when Snemi shows up with an army slash and a spin.
How do you feel about still going BTs on these mid heroes when your lane went as badly as it did? Like, I don't like it. I think BTs is an item you get if you had a good lane, not even an even lane. I think it's if you have a good lane, and then you use that to apply pressure onto the map, because obviously you're higher level, there's more like farm coming in because you're doing well. But having when's he gonna get this? Like 14 minutes? Like 13 minutes? I don't know.
The thing I always worry about when I see these mid laners skip the mid laners that go for BTs all the time, whenever they skip it, it feels like you just run out of farm. Like whenever you go, I don't know. It kind of feels like this item. You were mentioning earlier, we don't see Linas buy the Yule Scepters and stuff anymore.
No.
For the hero to be effective, it feels like BTs replaced what that item used to do. You get going quickly in the lane. You can bounce around all over the map to assist, but you can primarily you're able to bounce around from camps, right, and keep your farm rate up. Without it, if you go like straight Yule, straight BKB, straight Shadowblade on heroes like Lina, you just feel like you're a step behind. And although I definitely can see what you mean, that when the game has been this difficult, because I'm also not used to seeing it being this bad.
When you are behind, like you get this boots of travel, and then you can jump around the map, but what's your impact? Like if you get it early, then your next item kind of lines up. Like it still lines up at a good timing, but having BTs now, what's Lina's next item timing? It's going to be like 17 minutes, 18 minutes, and then it's like a small item. It's not even something big. So, like, it kind of delays the entire timing of the game. I have an interaction that I want to ask you about, and if you've seen it, and if I don't know if it works. How does Lina's Ag Shot work with Grimstroke ulti?
Ooh, I actually haven't seen that interaction. I would imagine it would be similar to Luna Lucent Beam. Where it'll be like Lucent Beam. So
you know when you hit the one and then the other one is like,
it hits like it'll be like with Lucent Beam. It gets worse. It's actually really funny when you buy a shot on Luna and then you use Lucent Beam, and it's actually worse now because you used to get the double and now you just get glaive, and you're like, well, that's not great. This is not really an upgrade. So I think it's probably a similar dynamic.
Okay, because Laguna blading 4 people in a team fight sounds a bit ridiculous.
I don't understand what you mean. It sounds perfectly balanced to me. Sounds legit, fam. Sounds perfect to me. And
Grim Lina coming to pubs near you.
Well, I don't think Punx is going to be having that much of an appetite to play Grim Lina again after this because Lina has had... Honestly, it's been a very long time since I've seen a Lina have this bad of a start, given how good her matchups are nowadays, and especially not when most of this has come 1v1. Like, I actually don't have any... I really want to download this replay after we're done because I just want to see how Junaid did this because, yeah, we saw the couple of rotations that were good, but the 1v1 matchup, how was he ahead here, Notahero?
Yeah, no, like, it must have been like one crucial outplay which kind of like hurt them. But a point that's starting to stand out for me when we haven't mentioned on is, like, we like this Bane pick and we like this Grimstroke pick, but they are effectively two supports that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a tempo setting. You're not going to get like a blink on one of these Euros and then just like Bane blinks and grips someone. I know Jace did do that at one game, but they were so far ahead. It was more... Oh, Chrono.
First bubble of the game now, coming out onto Nemi. They want to try and find this kill. They can't get the hit with the Barrow Strike, but it doesn't matter. DE's here. They got in the Walrus Punch, prevent him from moving away during the spin, take out the Healing Ward as well, and that's going to be a very quick kill. And look who shows up afterwards. Junaid is here, has himself access to the Diabolic Edict. So yeah, like you mentioned, they don't have many tower pushes, but Junaid gonna make sure to show up when he's needed. His tower's gonna fall. And that's even less space on the map now for Punx to be able to farm, because they haven't been able to take a tower of their own. And down bottom, Astra and Jace are gonna try, but they don't mount a push nearly as quickly. Baron almost dies. Dragon Slave will kill him. But Phycodamage might die for this. Ice Shards will be there directly onto him, and there's going to be the snowball. Nice Nightmare from Nibbling Monkey to prevent the follow-up on the Split Earth. And we have a TP in from the Tidehunter, gets off the Ravage. The Fiend's Grip will be out onto Junaid. Junaid, they get the cancel out on the Grip thanks to B. It's going to be enough to keep the Leshrac alive. But at the same time, Nemi now showing up, looking badly for this Omni Slash. They desperately want it onto one of the bigger targets. They will take and accept Jera kill. No! The creep! The creep! Nemi bounced back onto it. Does have the spin though to go onto the high ground. We'll try to chase down Jerick.
Oh, juicy.
There's going to be a 2-hero Split Earth, 2-hero Barrow Strike. Epicenter to follow this one up. Both of these heroes chased way too far. And yeah, you get the Rubik, but definitely not worth it. Junaid will find revenge. And poor Phycodamage. Somehow, even if he's not involved in the fight, he still ends up playing and he gets taken out right now by B on the backside of the fight.
How did B solo kill Phyco between a Bane and a Grimstroke?
Oh my gosh.
I need to go see that. It's like, replay guys, admins, please. Like, how? Like, what is it? Does he have a Falcon Blade on his task? No.
No, he doesn't. He's got Tranquil Boots and level 7, that's it.
Oh, they caught Junaid. This is a big kill if they get this.
They don't have the damage though, like you mentioned. Brain Sap level 3. There's gonna come out. Phantom's Embrace. Their Diabolic Edict is on. Brain Sap will be there. They do finally get the kill. Does find the Split Earth though, back onto Nibbling Monkey. Will they be able to get this kill? Very nice usage of the shots during the snowball from B. Gonna set them up to at least get the 1 kill. Will they be able to reach for more? They'll be satisfied knowing that they don't have bad damage on the high ground, but that was so... B's just been on point today, actually.
Did you see how he broke the Grimstroke tether?
Yeah.
So he could snowball because he was the only person tethered. Then Remedy ran in rage, and then he just procced the snowball to break it. Because if you tethered, you can't snowball. Like, it stops you from using it. So that was pretty cool. Like a little small mechanic there to see. But they did get the Junaid kill on the support. Like no cores in range. Oh, they're pinging top. They want Astra. Can they even kill him? No hood yet. They would know this.
He's walking into them, so they're gonna go for him. Baron Biceps already has Blink Dagger, reveals it quickly onto Astra. They lift him back right now. Phycodamage also in the vicinity. B is here, the carry of the game, but LSA will catch him out with the Laguna Blade. He will snowball in, and they get the damage out onto Astra. Finally, they find the kill. B will die. Oh no, Astra got saved. The very last minute by Nibbling Monkey. Great plays coming in from Punx. They're not done just yet. They want to chase forward. Tumbler's Sweat from Phycodamage. They throw out the LSA. It's going to give them the movement speed. Jerick eating these right clicks. Phycodamage, can he get close enough for the Inks 12? No, he cannot. So they just have to let Jerick go. He can't save the life of the Sand King, but very nice plays from Punx.
That was a misplay by B though. Like, we've been hyping him, but he's got Walrus Punch auto activated. And when he was running around, the courier flew over his head. And he Walrus punched the courier, and that was the damage they lacked to kill the Tidehunter.
Oh no! Okay, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah,
sorry.
He had it auto, and then the courier came over, and it just like punched the courier.
And he's like, well, that's not what I expected to happen.
Yeah,
And,
I think after that you kind of bail because it is still
Yeah.
a tide. He is quite tanky, and the nice little sleep play by Nibbling Monkey did get him out of trouble there. So, like, nice little mechanic. But if he had Walrus Punch, he was definitely dead there. So, did
Big win
Baron
to-
have Epi there, or did he just like was it still on CD?
I think it was still on CD from the kill they got middle. I think it was like 1 or 2 seconds still off from being used in a nice position. The big thing for me about that fight is they fail to kill Astra, they lose heroes, and for the first time in a while, we see that Punx get something going for themselves without having to commit this Ravage. We've seen that they got a really big play out of it in the top lane when they were fighting around the tier 1 through Ravage, and keeping him alive without having to blow the spell. Always really nice on the hero, because you want to have this up as long as humanly possible, right? He's sort of their only source of counter initiation, which kind of sucks, right? He has a lot of jobs to do. He has to initiate for the team, he has to counter initiate for the team, and unless they get a very good soul buy,
he's not having a good time.
not at all.
And he's not even finishing his hood, and I do think he needs it against the Slash Rack. He's going straight blink. I guess they feel that there's not enough tempo on the map. Oh, in the triangle there.
They're looking for Sinead. They've got the Fiend's Grip ready to go, and they will use it. Inkswell out onto the Astra as well to make sure that they get the kill. And Astra forced to run away from the Slash before he died just to Pulse Nova. Like you mentioned, he doesn't have a hood, so suffering from this magic damage early on.
I think Junaid's team was a bit closer than they actually were there because he wasn't running away. He was solidly just manning up there, and he just got caught.
They want to try man up here from the side of Exdee, running in. Baron Biceps gets caught by LSA though. Soulbind will be there on the 2 with the Ravage following up as well. Omni Slash bouncing around, 2 heroes have gone. Jarek does manage to steal the Ravage. That's going to allow him to escape this fight somehow. Don't think they'll be able to catch up. They have the vision though, Phycodamage. Will he find the Dragon Slave? Yes, he will. Gonna be a double kill for the Lina. 4 heroes will fall. Phycodamage back in the game, he's third on network, and they're taking the tier 1 tower in this mid lane.
100% caught up, but this is like a template of high-level Dota. Look at the timers there. We're 50 minutes into the game. Teams are running around behind tier 2s. They're putting pressure in triangles. Like I've seen some pubs where people are still laning at this stage.
Oh my gosh. No, you still have somebody being like, hey guys, I need somebody to block this camper. You know, someone come pull in my lane quickly.
like where's my support? need Ward's middle, guys, please.
What mid, please.
But this has been going on since like 9 minutes, and they're rotating around the map, making plays. Net worth is not being compromised for it. Everyone's getting their items at good timings. Faceless Void's 400 gold off like having his Mom Plus Maelstrom. And Nemi is pretty close to. He's actually got his Yasha. It's on the courier.
Yeah. Yasha into SNY. You know, SNY is sometimes a controversial option versus the Faceless Void, but against everybody else, this item is just necessary for this game. Manta wouldn't help him, and Tidehunter, nothing is going to help him in this situation because he is certainly dead. One more right click from Remedy. Of course, Remedy doesn't get it because the real carry of the game, it's Jarek. Back again, stolen stroke of fate.
It feels bad, like B backs away, like here you go, Remedy, and Jarek's like nah.
No, oh my goodness, Jarek in on it again with the stolen kills. This time he finds Phycodamage. 2 cores will fall. Jarek with a double kill.
Yo, that's 400 gold, eh? That's 400 gold for your pause 5 Ruben.
This Big Dagger's not going to take long in this game. It's going to arrive at like 21 minutes or something, or even sooner if they get this tier 2 tower off of this push.
But really good play by Exdee. Like, really good play. They've used Ravage. Yes, they killed us, but what are they going to do now? Like, no Ravage, it's go time. And if they ran from top through the jungle, killed Tidehunter to the middle, and now applying pressure to the tier 2 middle. Complete map control, top lane shoved in. The bot lane is counted. Oh, wait, here we go.
Baron Biceps finds the Juggernaut. They catch Nemi. Walrus Punch will prevent him from being able to move away. But the grip back onto Remedy, and Remedy finds himself getting Omni Slash. Nemi will get the kill, but he needs to get out of here. Astra gets the Ravage out, but Nemi went too far away from the Ravage, so he doesn't get the protection from the stuns. At the same time, Phycodamage is able to fight back onto Junaid, and they've killed the left rack. B trying to escape this fight. Inkswell will be there, does dodge it with the snowball, but won't be able to dodge the stroke of fate as he gets taken out. Astra chasing now for Jarek. They slow him down with the gush. Phycodamage finds the 2 hero LSA. They bring down Jarek first. Phycodamage is on double. Will he be able to get more out of this? They give him some invis thanks to the Glimmer Cape, and with the Inkswell and some right clicks, they get another kill for Jace, but he's stuck around in the sandstorm, so he dies. Didn't need to happen for Phycodamage, but nonetheless, Punx win yet another fight here, Notahero. And the question mark drop, Jace. Woof. getting pressure about the fight.
Whew, but this is how you like if I'm coaching anyone this week, I'm gonna show them this game, and this is gonna explain macro tempos to them, because no Ravage, Exdee goes. Ravage, Punx goes. It's just macro tempo and how the game changes depending on what you have ready on your team. So it's just really good. Back and forth, back and forth. 1k net worth difference at 18 minutes into the game. This is spicy.
Yeah, this is a fun game to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Lots going on. Remedy needs a stat item. Like this 1100 HP he has at the moment, it's not helping him. Like he's not surviving. Like they cancelled the Bane grip there, but it was already too late. Nemi just pressed ulti, Omni Slash. The Omni Slash procced I think twice,
and died straight away.
And he died straight away.
Yeah.
Like he needs an HP item. What has he got flying out here?
This is just gonna be a Vambrace that he got from the base. I mean, it's some stats, you know, at the very least. It is the beginning of the road. So, in terms of him getting a stat item, what do you think? Does he go SNY? SNY feels okay, can get the Manta, can go straight for something else. Lincoln's is not too terrible, or BKB, one of the items.
Like you need BKB, but then there's a Bane. Like it's such a like they have cancel. I guess if your BKB is going off while Bane's gripping you, you're not going to die because the bulk of the other damage is magical. Like even Jug, because majority of his damage is coming from Maelstrom, he's still only hitting for like 140. So Void, high armor gain, 13 armor. So Maelstrom is still the bulk damage there. I don't know, maybe a Manta, try and bait some stuff out. Try and Manta dodge some spells. I'm not sure where he's gonna go here.
Doesn't seem like he has an idea just yet either, taking quite a while to make the next decision for himself. Nemi, of course, does not have nearly the same degree of hesitance, immediately having queued up the Aghanim shot once he completed the SNY. Get that additional damage. It is still going to be a more magic damage increase for the team, so
yeah.
BKB now really starts to seem better and better for Remedy, but maybe he's concerned about the fact that if he does get BKB, then he's the only grip target, right? Then you just grip him every single time, waste the BKB duration, then you can't fight afterwards because he still won't be tanky enough.
Then they need to find this Bane in these engagements, and I guess there's Grimstroke as well, because you get leashed regardless. He's giving so much info in the jungle at the moment here.
Oh my gosh. Click on Jace right quick on this Grimstroke. I want you to see what he's queued up and what he's building for himself already.
he's probably the greediest pos 5 in this tournament at the moment.
Oh my god.
Like straight blink Ags on Bane the one game, plays Tidehunter as a pos 5, like itemizes normally, and he's going Hex. Like cool. I don't need an Aether Lens. Like I would like to see him pick up the Shard first. Like it's nice to debuff these stuns because people tend to forget about the Inkswell debuff that it gives. Oh, B broke the smoke.
Okay. B, what a great job on the high ground. They had the Juggernaut or the Leshrac as well as the Void. B will die to the Omni Slash as well as Spin, but they give away Omni Slash to Jurek. At the same time though, 100% worth it because Astra, if they had that smoke for another second on the high ground, Astra was a moment away of finding both Jug, or both with the Void and the Leshrac with the Ravage. Then they follow that up with the Grip. And they're still looking for it. They only wasted Omni Slash, so they still want to try and find something. Astra, he's at the forefront of this. Still has Blink Ravage. Remedy, oh, look at that game sense. Remedy was about to go up the hill. And he's like, I don't know about this. They actually have wards.
As well.
Yeah, they have wards everywhere. So they're like, okay, where could they be? They just fought us around Roshan. They're probably not rushing. We have this observer ward around the pit, so we would see if they were postured around this area. They're not postured around the triangle because we have wards everywhere. You mentioned how BE is giving them so much information of this part of the map. He also laid down this vision. So they're like, well, process of elimination, the only thing they could be doing is setting up a trap in our own jungle. So let's not go there. Let's do literally anything else, and it's going to be good for us. And indeed it is. They just keep farming on Remedy.
Yeah, it's just the fear of the Ravage. They know fighting into this Ravage is rough. What is the item speed up? He's actually decided to go Lincoln's on this Void. B again. Like, spotting who's going on there, blinking away. Did he see that ward? Yeah, he did. He put the sentry down. They know the ward is there. So they're actually going to smoke straight into it because the enemy now feels comfortable. They just saw the Tusk in that area. They feel comfortable around that spot. So you can actually play towards that area again. This is not the target they want to fight though. Like, not Titan.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. That like it's Great that they have this maneuverability, but TIE Hunter not really the person they want to open this up
Right
on.
to the same
Jace will break the smoke and Phycodamage. Oh no, have they caught this Lina? There's going to be a soul bind on the 2. Jace in with the Inkswell will at least slow down a couple of heroes here. And they actually almost got this kill now onto Jarek. There's a lot of damage going out onto this Rubik. Astra jumps in. They get the Ravage. Remedy's falling low. Remedy's gonna die. And now the Fiend's Grip going out onto Junaid. The save will come out. Thanks to both Snowball as well as the Power Strike. But Junaid might still be in danger. Split Earth only hits onto Jace. And now Junaid is taking right-click damage from both Nemi and Phycodamage. He dies easily. Baron Bicep does get prepared with the epicenter on the backside of the fight. But he's undoubtedly gonna die as well. 4th hero War 4, the only lone survivor is B in the top lane. And Punx yet again take a commanding fight. And this time though, not a hero. The path to Roshan lies open. They're in. And not only are they in, look why they survived. Look why it was so hard to kill them. Astra, he picked up that HOD you mentioned, and now he has a pipe of insight as well.
He doesn't have an HOD. What? Am I
Put up
blind?
Defiance. Put up Defiance. Into
Oh, I thought you said Helm of Dom.
No.
Helm of Dom, HOD. Oh, no. So, okay, so we're on the same page. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're having a problem with this, like Void's item build, man. This Linken's isn't gonna help, because I'm looking at it now. Like, every time someone builds, when I play Grimstroke and someone builds a Linken's, I just link the person next to him. Still attaches. And then Bane can just do the same thing. I know it makes it harder to execute, but it's not going to save him from this combo. I think Remedy needs to delay his engagement in these fights a little bit and pick his targets. Because when last did we see a chrono? It was on the one on Juggernaut, like 7 minutes into the game top.
Yep, it's been a while since we've seen him do it. And it feels like even if he does do it now, they might try to use it on Phycodamage. So Power Strike. They get the catch onto this Lina. BKB will be activated, and there's the bubble. Catches onto 2, but where is the damage? Where is the follow-up here? Lina, she's still fine, and there's gonna come out the Phantom's Embrace, turning around onto Remedy. Phycodamage invised up right now, thanks to the Glimmer Cape. And that's it. There's the bubble. You wanted it to be used. He did it.
Yeah, and it's just once again like no damage into Chrono. Like I know the Lina's BKB was going, but if there was a +1 there for that, I'm not sure. Is there anything like Rubik and Steel that'll help with this?
You can still, I suppose, Laguna Blade or Dragon Slave. That's like decent damage with the buff up of Arcane Supremacy.
Gush, I guess.
Yeah, Gush would help with the negative armor, right? Make it easier for the right clicks to come out.
Like it's, I don't know, it's just really hard. And you can see Jarek is going for the big steals. I think he's always trying to get like Inkswell because that's probably like a really good pull for your Faceless Void. But he keeps getting Stroke of Fate. And still good on Rubik, but it's not what you want. Like the silence, really good. The Inkswell, really good. So just good plays on Jace, making sure that he's only giving Stroke of Fate when Rubik is near.
I'm actually quite surprised that we haven't seen Rubik steal Fiend's Grip at all this game. Given how liberal Numbling Monkey has been with the usage of that spell, it's kind of interesting that we haven't actually seen it not a single time. And I feel like that's also one of those spells that we really could see this Rubik using to turn around. Like in that situation here that we just saw, if he has grip there, Lina dies 100%. But all the wrong spells have been stolen. Or not all the wrong spells have been stolen, but Punx have been making sure that the right spells can't be attained.
And it's kind of just as well, like I think this will, you kind of see, we spoke about Jarek coming in as a sub, and he's had a really good game, but when you solidify as a team, like they need to be protecting this Faceless Void at the moment, and they kind of playing for, hey, I'm a support, I'm going to kill this guy, or I'm going to try and make a play here. But I think their main role should be switching to, we need to protect Remedy, and they haven't itemized for it at all. Like, Rubik's got, as a POS 5, has got Aether Lens Blink Dagger. There's no Force Staff, there's no Glimmer Cape, nothing to try and assist. I guess he can, like, blink in and try and cancel the Bane Grip with a lift or something like that. But there's nothing to help Remedy at the moment, or buff him up, or assist him in any form. There's a Lotus Orb on Sand King now, I guess. That's something. This needs to go on to Remedy every single fight.
It's something, but it's not like... You were mentioning that Glimmer Cape, right? We've seen how many times Jace just keeping either the mid Psycho damage or just making sure Nemi doesn't die with a clutch Glimmer Cape at the very last second. They don't have those kind of defensive options on their side just yet. And it also kind of feels like their positioning is, even if they had these items, where they've generally tended to be in the middle of these fights, I'm not so sure they always get the spells and the usages out. Like, let's think about the last death where Remedy died here next to this outpost. He was so far away from the rest of the squad that they could have had all the items in the world to save him, and it wouldn't really have mattered in the end of the day.
Yeah, we spoke about Punx kind of having 2 pos 5s, but Exdee kind of has 2 pos 4s. And both of them are farming for that role as well. I guess playing Rubik without these items feels really bad, and it's so he can like get the proper steals, but they need some save, man. I know you have Snowball, but Remedy is struggling at the moment.
That makes it worse for Remedy, even once he finishes this Lincoln Sphere, not too far away. No damage, susceptible to LSA still, and now look at how Phycodamage is building. Got the full Daedalus out on this hero, moving into the Satanic.
And there's so much to pop this Lincolns, like Gush can proc it, like Brain Sap can proc it, like Phantom's Embrace procs it. Like there's so much stuff that can just like stop this. Look at Phyco's item Snare.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Phycodamage can just right click you, doesn't matter. LSA with right clicks will still kill you even through Lincoln Sphere.
Or B.
Oh, what a blink. Big plays. Let's still end up dying here. Nice eye shots as well to buy space.
Oh, he's got the shard on the bigger eye shards. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
It's a weird shot though. Like the bigger eye shards is nice, but then that 40% slow, it does nothing, man. Like I was like, yo, this is gonna be so great, and then people just walk out of it. You're like, oh, okay, never mind.
And they're like, what now? Well, we don't really care about this.
Yeah, it's like by the time you get it, people have like 4 staffs and all types of stuff. But look at B, like making a full loop through the triangle, dropping a sentry. Like, he is creating so much space for his team.
Yeah.
I don't even think Punx wants to chase him because it's just like, okay, like he's just doing his thing.
Yeah, they know that he's sort of trying to distract them, right, and try and buy as much space for the rest of the squad as possible. He is bottom now. Junaid needs to run away. Yeah, like B can die. Junaid needs to TP out though, and he does do so well in time, and they will be able to find the kill onto B. Nemi has a basher as well right now on the Juggernaut, moving into the full Mjolnir. An absurd amount of attack speed coming out of him, but what terrifies me is that once they have the full Mjolnir, they'll put the static charge out onto the Nemi, and then we're already having so many damage problems from Remedy, and then suddenly you're killing yourself when you're trying to deal with those Juggernauts, and it makes life so much more difficult.
The Hex for the Grim is almost done, Snare.
Oh my god. How? Where's this farm come from for Chase?
Oh, grip middle.
Nice grip onto this Jarek Rubik. Grip does finally get stolen though, and they're blinking Ravage. Baron Biceps is gonna get caught by this. He is gonna die. Does cost the Ravage. They do get a grip out of it, but at the end of the day, you lose Baron.
Baron's alive. It's go time now. Like Ravage, no Ravage for 130 seconds. When he's back, it's still like 80 seconds off CD. So, and you've got Bane grip now. This is. Yeah, and there's a 4-star on the Rubik as well.
Alright, this has to be go time, like you say, because they have all the tools they need. The grip in particular, going to be helpful against this Juggernaut and against the Lina. Their magic immunity and BKBs will not be automatic protection anymore, which they've been sort of relying on in this fight, right? Knowing that Junaid, despite how well he started the game out, he's really been forced into this very precarious position where he can't really do all that much in this mid game. The BKB, the Hood of Defiance into the pipe, and the spin on the Juggernaut really have been making this mid-game quite difficult for Junaid to put his mark on. I mean, let's compare and contrast, right? He had obvious 6 kills that he got right now. I think like most of them, at least 4 of them came in the first 4 or 10 minutes of the game. Yeah, and since then, he's just not really been able to have that much influence.
But it also comes back to like not having damage into Chrono and Remedy himself not being able to do damage at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, they
found a grip. This is perfect. Phycodamage doesn't actually have activation of this BKB. Well, probably for the best. You wouldn't have survived through that anyway. That is massive. Yeah. That is massive. Jarek found the big kill.
That's what they needed because, like we said, how do they? I actually wanted to say before that happened, how do they kill Lina when she's popped BKB? Like, let's track, cool. Edict goes through, but that's about it. Your Void isn't hitting hard enough at the moment, and your supports don't really burst damage. Like Warrior's Punch is nice, but that's about it. If you get the good steal, like having this grip, very, very big play. I don't think they should go high ground yet. Like they should know Rose should be spawning soon.
Yeah. I hope that they're just trying to push this lane out, maybe get a little bit of damage out with Diabolic Edict onto the high ground, but they want to force this. They're going for this.
B is always looking like a meat shield for his team.
He wants to either burst these smokes, tank the damage, just make it easier for the rest of the team to play, right? And he's been doing that role quite well. And, you know, it's one of these situations where you say to yourself, all right, how do I influence this game? We're in a losing position. I can't necessarily automatically just smoke and find kills for my team. I don't have the necessary spells to do so. I'm not farmed enough to make that happen. But what I can do is be so annoying for the opponent and or just get in front of all the damage for my team that the space happens automatically. Baron, he's fine, dude. He's got Blink, he's got Barrow Strike. There's no way he dies here. And he's got the Lotus Orb. If he died there, honestly, I'd actually rather to report him. I'd be like, nah, man.
Call him a hoha.
Say, nah, bro. Come on, what's this? We'd have to check his bank account and say what bets are going on here in the background.
Yeah. Was this game listed? who is this bet coming from South Africa? Yeah, who is this man?
Exactly.
A good disengage there. There was still a little bit of chip damage on the top tower as well. Once again, it was B actually just ran high ground, hit the tower twice, and then blinked away and TP'd. So, playing really far forward, and I do think it's causing Punx to hesitate when they are stronger. We spoke about macro timings earlier. Ravage is up, Snare. They're not making any moves.
Are they waiting for anything? They got Satanic on Phyco. They should smoke here. Like, Satanic, BKB, Daedalus on Phyco damage. Nemi has the full Mjolnir Basher with the S and Y.
That's very interesting. 32 minutes and they decide not to keep buybacks? Only people with buyback in the game is on the side of Exdee. It's Leshrac, Sand King, and Tusk.
It is quite peculiar, especially when this next Roshan has the potential to really determine the whole game as Baron Biceps finds the power strike onto Jace.
Oh, good shot.
Glimmer Cape will be there, but the shard block will come out. Soulbind in the opposite direction. Here comes the Ravage. It connects onto 3. Grenade activates BKB, but he still gets gripped up. Chrono, though, onto 2. And they steal away the Fiend's grip. Grip now being applied towards Phyco. Damage gets cancelled out. There's going to still be enough damage to kill him, though. Both him and the Tide Hunter are gone. Remedy finally getting forward, wants to get the damage out onto Jace. His arch nemesis Nemi is showing up on the backside of the fight. Jace in the Glimmer Cape, still alive, will end up dying. Nemi now realizes what a dangerous position he's in. What a spin, though. A lot of damage coming out from this, and they really want to chase him. He has the Omni Slash, ready to turn with this. There's a creep to try to dodge some of this out. So, but they don't really want to take that fight. They'd rather go for the easy kill. Nibbling Monkeys left behind. And Remedy.
B kept Nemi out of that entire fight. Nemi came through the river. B instantly Warriors punched him, blocked him off from shards from the team fight, and Remedy moved away from him. So that was really good team coordination. Like Remedy staying away from Juggernaut there, going straight onto the Lina. Like the entire BKB usage was during the chrono, and then Baron followed it up with a stun. So very good like little things coming out there, and very good play by Exdee. Like that was. Yeah. And that was into Ravage. It looked like a good Ravage.
It really did look like a good Ravage at first, right? But the additional second before they could kill the Leshrac bought time for Remedy to get the big chrono. They get the steal on the Fiend's grip as well, because Bane couldn't afford to leave it whilst Junaid has BKB active. And now Exdee will go claim the reward. Roshan is opened up for them. This time around, Punx not nearby to claim it for themselves. So Aegis with the Aghanim Shard. We probably are going to be giving this either to the Faceless Void or Leshrac. Void will probably take it because he doesn't want to just rely on Lincoln's BKB. And indeed, he gets the shot. Got the reverse time walk. Junaid will be the one to pick up this Aegis.
But shard Lesh, man.
That split earth is so stupid, honestly. It's.
And if you time it right, you can have like a perma split earth going off in like the same area.
I mean, they've got the shards on the Tusk already, right? With the Aghanims. So if you get those shots with split earth, it's like, yeah, no one's ever leaving this area.
You're not moving. And then the Sandstorm additional slow at 25 for Sand King. Like.
And telekinesis back into all those heroes.
And then a random Warlock rocks up into the game.
So much sun. Heroes who aren't even in the game are getting brought in.
Like, I used to hate just playing against Warlocks that would level up people like level 2. And then you just put it in the lane. And you're trying to like last hit these creeps and you just can't move. Like,
and you're like, well, this is interesting, you know?
Yeah, this is fun. Like, it's not doing any damage to me, but it's not fun.
Sometimes Dota 2 is about tilting your opponent more so than just beating them. And top, the
nibbling?
big monkey might get tilted here as he loses his life. He steal away the brain sap. No Fiend's Grip available for Jarek
go
this time
buyback.
around. He does have buyback. They'll be forced into the defense, and they do have the Ravage. Not an easy place to be. Remedy gets the
Remedy?
jump up to Phycodamage, activates BKB
good
and the chrono on the 2. Remedy, does he bring down Phycodamage? Yes, he does. And they find the Burrow Strike Epicenter. It's not a meme, it's real. It gets into the chrono, it gets to the kill. And now these heroes are going to be forced to buy back. Astra jumping forward, gets a wonderful Ravage. It does get stolen though. Remedy, can he find the Omni Slide from Nemi? He does. And the silence went out onto the Rubik before he could come back with the Ravage. He's gone. BE now running away from the spin. He can't do so. Gonna be a double kill for Nemi. Outside of the base, Junaid, he can't run either. Astra has the Gush. With the Aghanim Scepter, they get the kill. Remedy jumps in, time dilation just to try and buy some space and time. They try to get the kill onto Baron Bicep. They will be able to do so. No TP attempt is even bothered, and Junaid does get the TP out though. Bought enough time by the rest of his team. They hold the base here, Notahero, but it's super expensive. They had to commit the double buybacks on Bane as well as on the all-important Nemi Juggernaut.
Yeah. I think Fico as well, or did you go down just the once?
He did, yeah. He didn't buy back though. He didn't buy back.
Okay. Yeah, and now the damage issues are starting to like pan out. Void's got a leveler now, which is probably one of the best heroes to carry leveler apart from the holding damage, but having additional time block proc chances is always extremely good. And he's got his BKB now as well. Like, he held that chrono so well. Like, he was waiting for Nemi to come forward. He hit the both cores. He had Lina and Jug, resulting in both of their deaths. So just extremely like patience. Like, we saw him like hold this the entire game, but now he's back in his element. He knows where he is. His hero's actually doing damage, and Exdee not getting a Rax though, eh? Which is the bright side for Punx here. They took the tier 3 middle like in their previous engagement, but nothing happening top. This tier 3 is still standing. No like super creeps out yet, and you can see they're playing the map safe. Junaid's bottom, but he doesn't feel too comfortable, like hugging the tree line. And the rest of Exdee is holding hands.
Yep, making sure that they're not going to get caught out anywhere on the map. They understand right now that provided Remedy is holding on to this bubble, that they suddenly the ones that have the big team fight advantage. But being picked off can still happen. These heroes can kill you 100-0 if you are far away from your allies. So make sure you stay close by them. Nemi has picked up now an Aghanim Scepter, so we've got the Swift Slash going now as well for this Juggernaut. Mid lane. Or Jace, they got vision on you, babe. Sorry. Yep, they got it.
Reliable, man. Captain reliable this game. He's been so good. Like, he's been in the right areas. He's making the space. He's always got like a dust or sentry going.
Real talk, he's carrying this game, dude. Honestly, like I feel like there's no way they're in this position without P.
Those little movements he did, like just like drive-bys through the triangle, and then like people might look like, yo, he's feeding or whatever. He's not feeding. He's made so much space because they're also not instantly killing him. Because he's snowballing and then he's blinking and he's causing a lot of havoc, and it's given them the time to come back into this game, because Punx at one stage was in the driving seat hard.
Yeah. They were flying, but they're not really in that controlling position anymore. Now they are dealing with the double BKBs on the important cores. Leshrac has picked up Shiva's Guard, so she's also less susceptible to the right-click damage out of both Lina as well as the Juggernaut. And also, this is a little bit unfair.
Fight is still terrifying, man. You said it's unfair?
It's unfair that they got the Spell Prism, dude, for Leshrac. That's not fair.
Oh, no, he definitely needs Shard.
Yep. And look at that, queued up immediately. He's like, oh.
Yeah, now he definitely needs Shard. That is so good. Like, going high ground, he can just start planting those stuns, and you basically daring Tyrant to, like, if Tyrant wants to come in and ravage, he has to time it between those pulses. Like, it just puts a little bit extra pressure on. You don't want to go into those areas and fight there. It's really good. Is he gonna fly it out? No, he's keeping buyback. What's his surplus? He's only got 820 surplus at the moment.
Yeah.
So still another 600 gold before we'll buy it.
I think as long as Roshan hasn't respawned just yet, nobody or none of these core heroes really should be buying out. Well, I mean, except for Nemi. Nemi can do what he wants. Buybacks still on cooldown, but everybody else will try and make sure that they maintain the buybacks. We'll see if Phycodamage can farm it up before the big man comes back. And Bane, yeah. Bane's one is still on cooldown for quite a while as well. And it's quite relevant because Nibbling Monkey we've seen in this game what happens if he's the one that dies first, right? That the entire team fight sort of feels quite difficult for the
He's had a
entire
massive
lineup.
impact in this game, but he's really actually underfarmed for like the past 4 lane. Like mana boots Aethers, like that's about it, eh? 41
Yeah.
minutes.
I think they gave Jace the pause for this game. They're like, listen, man, just get the hex, whatever.
The game was like really fast as well, and I don't think there was like much time for him to like deep push lanes and stuff. And as Bane, you want to do that. The only way you can do that is if you get a shard. That's kind of like hit all the creeps a few times and then just brain sap the whole wave. And he's going Aeon Disc next, just to try and stay alive. So rough times to be a Bane, man. 41 minutes into the game, no ags.
No ags, very few items, no survivability really. Not even like just a glimmer cape or something, just to help out.
4 staff.
Yeah.
And he also opted to keep his mana boots and not split it for the Aether lanes. I guess it's kind of like more for a team dynamic because Grimstrike just has the brown boots with the hex. So nibbling having the semi-team item there just for mana purposes in the game. Because early Lina does struggle without like the old Jules build. Like without that, like her mana does like die very quickly just from farming. Look at B, he's gonna break this.
Yep.
Oh man.
Wearing biceps.
Oh man.
It still helps in this regard. You're just sitting in the sandstorm. He's sitting on the to break the smoke. That was such a really good move from Exdee. Like it put them in such a commanding position, and now they're poised to make a turnaround. They're looking towards Astra, going in. Epicenter will find him. They do end up popping the pipe. Ravage will emerge right now. Where does this go? Baron Bicep taking right-click damage. He'll end up losing his life. Jarek also in a bad place. He gets flicked on by Phycodamage, and Remedy. Omni Slash will be there, but the Time Walk destroys it. He gets a huge chrono, but Aeon does make sure that Lina will stay alive. Phycodamage getting back. BEE coming in with the snowball, catching Phycodamage inside the eye shot. They've got him. They've gotten the kill. Remedy now will get himself the Omni Slash is coming out, but there's gonna be a Lotus Orb. Nemi is now surrounded. Nemi is all alone. Nemi's gonna die. It's a full team wipe. They're all gone. And he finally drops the question mark himself. And it's too much. Jace is like, I can't take this anymore. He's had enough. GG, well played. It's over.
That Lotus Orb, man. Because that jug ulti could have still like maybe salvaged that fight for them. Oh. Man, what's the banter going on here, eh? The question marks being dropped. The tips. There's something in the water here, Snare, and I like it.
I think there's spice in the water, definitely.
Nice.
They put a lot.
Blood, and the sharks are coming.
What a game, though. This was so entertaining, right? And you were talking about how the word of this game is going to be macro gameplay, right? And this was pretty much a battle of macro gameplay from start to finish, and different phases of what your team's strength is supposed to look like, right? Exdee were commanding in the first 10 minutes, and they commanded that first 10 minutes. Looked really, really good. Punx, though, were able to recover quite well into the mid game and pretty much shut Exdee out from doing anything. However, Punx let their foot off the gas from being able to play that large-scale map-based macro gameplay. We didn't see them play aggressively when they had Ravage online again, and they spent so much time just farming, waiting for something to happen. The next D is like, okay, there's this large period of time when we're actually quite weak on the map, you know? All we have on Faces Void is a Maelstrom Lincoln Sphere, but y'all are giving us the time? Okay!
And what do they do?
What happens?
Okay, it's our time to play slow now. They've got Ravage, and B is like, you guys do your thing, I'll find them. And he just went for a stroll, Snare. Went through a stroll through the entire jungle. Oh, here's a Tidehunter, blinks away. Then runs through the triangle, drops some wards down, cuts the creep wave bottom, runs around the tree line. Yes, they killed him 9 times, but when it was Exdee's macro timing to play slow, B was giving them the intel they needed to make the right decisions.
Yeah, definitely, and gave them so much vision control, so many ways to understand where Punx were, and Punx definitely too frustrated. They don't have a hero like B. You were talking about it in the game that you have Grimstroke Bane. These two heroes sort of do the same thing, right?
And you need them both.
Like, yeah, you need both of them.
Yeah, if one of them dies, Exdee's running at you. If B dies, we still got Stanking, we still got Chrono.
Just so many more options for Exdee, all because of B. I really would have given my MVP in this particular game. What a performance from him. And
but we have business, man.
We do have business to do. We do have business, right? Because Exdee, they've handled their business by taking this game. Time for us to do ours by giving something back to y'all. Because what we have is yet another incredible EveTech Spaceman Mouse Pad available for you. All you have to do to get a piece of that action is type in, basically channel the spirit right now at the end of the game that
What,
we saw
question
coming in
mark?
from Remedy. Type in GG easy and then question mark. Okay, you don't need to do a question mark, but just GG easy, one word, no spaces in between. And only once. If you do it more than once, what happens to you, Notahero? If you try type in GG easy too many times.
The admins will type a question mark back at you, and you'll be removed from the giveaway.
Not only will you be removed from the giveaway, but somehow a random chronosphere will wind up in your house, and you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So.
A random bee tusk running through your living
my
room.
God. Terrifying. He's got wards in my living room right now. I don't even want to get involved. So GG easy. We'll obviously announce the winner later on today. But for now, while you are all busy frantically typing on the keyboard, we're going to be taking a small break, get the players some time to get ready for the next game, the all-important game, because now Exdee are one game away from getting a date against WRG in a podium matchup. And Punx, of course, want to try and fight this one back, prove yet again that they're capable of upsetting Exdee. They've done so in the past. There were many moments in this game where they seemed close to be able to do it. Let's find out together once we go into the next game if they can finally make it happen. This is Exdee versus the side of Punx Interactive Gaming, and we'll be back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere. This is EGL Season 2 with Snare and Notahero, and we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to EGL One. It's season 2 of the action, and we are getting close to the finish line. Right now, Exdee as well as Punx Interactive Gaming are fighting it out to get closer and closer to that podium finish, closer and closer to the title, closer and closer to being declared the best Dota team in South Africa. Right now, Exdee up 1 game and are very, very close to being able to make themselves the next competitor to go up against WRG, who have been on a bit of a tear since they've dropped down to the lower bracket. And let's see whether or not Exdee will keep their own tier going, or if it's going to be Punx yet again upsetting them. One of the few teams to do so reliably that aren't named Sinister 5, WRG, Energy Esports, etc. To see if that's going to happen.
Fighting for their lives, Snare.
Right?
Fighting for their lives, man. This is do or die. Like, carry the dream or go home.
Yeah, the dream, it's a difficult one, Notahero. So tell us, do you think, based on what we saw in game 1, based on what you know about this team, is there a chance? Is there a hope? Can they make this run back, or is Exdee just gonna walk all over them in game 2 as well?
So we spoke about the flaws in Exdee's draft in the first game, but they did what they needed to do on the map to delay the game long enough, so those flaws are later on not relevant. We saw multiple Lotus Orbs coming out, which probably ended the game, and like Remedy got to a stage where he could chrono people and like kill them by himself. Baron always followed up those chronos nicely with stuns after the BKBs ran out. So we spoke about B, probably our MVP for the first game, but the shenanigans that he was doing like compensated for their draft's weaknesses. And early on, before he had that Blink Dagger on the task and all those things, Punx could play Punx Dota. We have Ravage, we're running at you, our macro timing is up, we're running at you, we're going to fight you, we're going to take towers, and this is our game. And then Exdee just started delaying when they needed to, and B's doing these pulls and shenanigans, and they chose their targets. Like, B just pulled 3 people bottom, hey, there's someone top, let's kill them. And they just kept doing that until they were back in the game. But we have a draft.
We do. We have a second draft on our hands. Exdee now, after that, you just heard the tail of the tape from Notahero. What a concise summary. Now we're getting into the second game, and I think, listen, I don't play much Wisp. And one of the reasons I don't play much Wisp is that there was once a day where I was like, let me get good at Wisp. Let's play some ranked games at Wisp. And 3 out of like the 6 ranked games I played into AA. And I was like, don't really feel like playing Wisp anymore. And unfortunately, that's what's happening here today. First pick Wisp, immediately countered out with this AA pick, which is interesting, right? We don't see AA all nowadays, but they drag him out here just to make 100% certain that they have the counter against this IO.
And you've kind of already set up yourself with a combo, like AA plus Mars. That seems good. Like Ice Vortex on the ground, amps like the damage coming out by Mars or the team. There's additional slows. You've got the Ice Blast onto a target in the arena, or you can always just wait for this IO. And Mars as well, like even without the AA, pretty good against the IO because you can break the tether by spearing the person away from the target. But I guess it goes both ways. If IO is not the one that's caught, you can always reload someone out of the arena. So there is like give and take. But I do like the Exdee opener against this IO. But Punx responding hard. IO Medusa.
I mean, I suppose when you're at this point, right, they already have AA. You already know what's going to be one of their big counters to you, right? And this sets you up because sure, it might be AA, in your mind, you're like, Ice Blast is huge, but it's not like Earthshaker, it's not Lion, it's not heroes that can easily kill you once the reload has already happened. It's one of these situations where if they miss this Ice Blast and they don't connect it directly onto the IO Medusa, they are so free now in the middle of this fight. You already mentioned how Mars will be able to start the fights. Medusa can get out thanks to the IO. They don't really have an answer for Stone Gaze just yet on the side of Exdee. And if this Medusa does get big enough, we've seen Medusas get to the point where she actually doesn't care about the Ice Blast, right? You'd be practically never in shatter range anyway. So that spell is pretty much a moot point. AA has to use it at the beginning of the fight. Won't have the latitude to wait until the Medusa gets maximum impact from it.
And Medusa is also a strange hero with IO because naturally, like, AA stops them from healing, but IO can still replenish mana.
Yeah.
Which gives Medusa effective HP, which is a really interesting mechanic because, okay, I've just hit them with Ice Blast. They squish here because they're not regenerating HP, but Io can just pop some mangoes, keep that Medusa shield nice and healthy, and she's still extremely tanky. So that's a little interesting mechanic that people need to like realize when they're playing against this Io Medusa thing. It's not just about the HP regen; it's also the mana that it gives back. So doubling up on effective HP.
And it's not like the situation where Exdee have gone, say, for a Lion, where you get the mana drain and burst damage. Now you only have some semblance of burst. You don't really have an easy way to get rid of that effective HP that will come from this Medusa. And they make sure to try and remove heroes in the pool who are very good at sustain damage outputs to get rid of that effective HP. Morphling's gone, Lena's gone, Slocker's gone. And now Exdee is really going to have to work hard to get this Medusa down into a morsel situation. And it's always really nice when you already know what the enemy's +5 is going to be. In this situation, it being the Ancient Apparition, you know that the pace of the game is going to be not as fast as what would threaten the Medusa, right? They have to play very carefully around this, and you already know it's going to be very execution heavy from the side of Exdee right now.
Yeah, I agree. Like Exdee is going for this team fight where Punx has made their intentions clear. Medusa's going to farm, Io is going to keep her alive. What's the response going to be by Exdee? What are they going to try and like max this? Oh, that's a pretty interesting pick. I like that. Yeah, it's really good. Like Io hates playing into this hero, and like just started chucking this mana, the mana burn onto Medusa in these fights. It is significant because it does burn quite a bit as the game goes on.
10 seconds.
What is a problem though, I think, with this hero, as much as I do like it, I kind of would have preferred Lion, just because it kind of feels like whenever I see this Nyx Assassin play, one of two things has to be true, right? Either you're getting this advanced vision for your team to set up for heroes like Storm, Spectre, Ember Spirit, heroes that can get very far forward with you and make things happen, or you have to have a very effective gank squad when you have this Nyx Assassin in the team. Feels like the mobility options here, Mars can get Blink Dagger, but he feels like he needs Blink plus Omelet to be really effective moving around the map with Nyx.
Mars without Omelet at the moment is not Mars. Like just putting Omelet on and like using Rebuke, the amount of damage that it does, it's just too valuable to give up. It's actually surprising that people only started doing it this year, because it literally took the hero from just being this offlaner that arenas and spears people to a hero that actually does a lot of damage. There's more save, eh? Yo, Shadow Demon.
Listen, this game is all about the Nemi Medusa. They're gonna go full in for Protect 1.
You think they prepping for like a Ursa pick with Diffusal? Because then your Shadow Demon is kind of like the Ursa counter?
I think if they picked Ursa, Exdee, even if there wasn't the Shadow Demon, it would have felt really, really rough, because then all you do as Punx is just pick to kite him, right? Already you do have the Shadow Demon. Yes, it like counters it out super hard right now, but I always worry, like, as Ursa feels like would need a Blink Dagger this game. Any hero that they pick for the safe lane, it has to be somebody that can either buy a Blink or has natural mobility. So now I'm thinking towards these life stealers, maybe for Infest ganks, who might see a Faceless Void emerge again, just as a way to be able to stop the bubble. And when Ranger comes out, this is really nice actually, because whatever hero they get, right, for the safe lane, they needed like
Nyx though?
Nyx can't mana burn everybody, you know? Can't mana burn everyone.
Like you channel a power shot, he just carapaces it. Like you... Like, I don't know. I is the anti-mage. This is solely for that Medusa. But interesting stat. Like I remember watching last year during the DPC season, Medusa had this popular stint, and people kept picking anti-mage to counter the hero, and the Medusa had like a 75% win rate against anti-mages. Her win rate against the hero was higher than against other heroes, because everyone was doing that shard Ags build, and she just didn't care about anti-mage. Like, we just chuck a snake at him, stone him, and like, yeah, I don't know. It was just such a weird time, and Medusas were ending games at like 25 minutes when anti-mage is kind of only coming online. So
yeah,
don't know how that matchup still works. Obviously, it is good for the mana burn, and they doubled up on it now because you kind of said you don't know if it's enough. So maybe now is it enough now?
if they do get on,
they need another one. They need
one
another
more.
hero Snare.
Pick Lion, mid Lion or something. You know, let's go.
This will never have mana. Like, it's done.
So this does help them as well, right? They can also, besides Medusa, I think what I've seen work really well against Medusa is when you sort of play the game around her. like you draft in a way that allows you to kill everybody else and then come back for the Medusa kill.
Yeah.
They don't have much lockdown on the side of Punx right now. All they really have is the shackle shot from Wind Ranger. If to be fair, if he does get shackle shotted, focus fire is not a great spell against
She's the
like that
range
Etienne, but
bristleback. She's the range bristleback. You
yeah,
ignore her,
basically.
kill her team, and then you come back to her afterwards.
And there's no lockdown for the AM. You can just get around the
Punx is
fight, do anything you
Draft
want.
is slow, man. Like how is this win gonna kill people?
She's not meant to kill people. I think the only hero that's meant to do anything in this game is gonna be the Lycan. Oh, not the Lycan, sorry, the Medusa. I just saw Lycan coming out. Lycan obviously is just gonna be there as window dressing to force the team to play away from the Medusa. Oh, wait, we're playing into Medusa, we're losing buildings. We have to go address buildings. Medusa's farming somewhere else. You can also get Aghanim Scepter at some point. Wolfbite isn't as crazy as it used to be, but so
The Notahero. What is the Notahero like? They can still do Void Spirit, it's not bad against the wind. They can do SF. They can do Kunkka. It's not horrible.
Ember Spirit potentially. I always like that hero
Yeah.
against IO drafts.
It's also a bit of wave clear, which they kind of lacking apart from Mars. The Void Spirit's been taken out. What am I saying?
Yeah,
So, it's a free storm game, man. The only
no
stun on
stuns.
Punx is like shackle shot.
No
It's
stuns at
such
all.
it's such a free storm game.
Also, Invoker is in the pool, and it feels like Invoker could be really good this game. The EMP burn with Tornado.
Plus AM though.
I mean,
Oh,
it's,
you went for the mana burn. You doubled up.
we're tripling up now. I told you, EMP, man. Yeah, it's a lot of greed, but
yeah, they can do Ember here. Like I can even see Shadow Fiend working. Like Shadow Fiend plus Nyx is a pretty old school combo. And then it's also weird, like when Mars arenas people, Shadow Fiend blinks into the middle of the arena and ultis, people keep running into the wall. So there's some. Yeah, I would say like Ember Spirit. I think you called it pretty good, yeah. Or even then, I would say SF. SF does really good against Wind Ranger. It's one of the few heroes that can really apply pressure in that lane.
you know, if this was China, I would say that there's a non-zero chance that we see a Doom emerge into this mid lane right now, and he'd be so difficult to kill in this game. I highly doubt that they're gonna go for that Fortunate, but could be an option for them as they are winding down the time here. 10 more seconds really until they're completely out of time. What will they do? You don't need that much, right? You just need to make sure you have a hero with some degree of control and dive.
They've got no push though. Did they go back for the DK? Yeah, no, that's a solid call. Yeah.
I feel like it does everything that they needed to do, right? Like you mentioned, it gives them push, it's wave cleared, hunts as well, good against IO. It's a hero that can also, in the event that Remedy doesn't have a good game, like last game, he had a really rough start to it. And Junaid, they were bought time by B. He can't really do the same on the Ancient Apparition, of course, as he did with the Tusk.
Well,
however, Ember Spirit. Blink Dagger AA.
You can try. Put ice vortex everywhere, slow people, then blink away. I don't know.
No.
Also, something to notice is Ember in the past against like an IO matchup, mid game instead of like going Ags, they would get an Eye of Scotty instead. Because when the region change was happening, so you've got an additional way of like reducing that region because you can always slide off first IO plus the tether target. So you do have AA, but if that blast does miss for some reason, you do have something to deal with that, and it helps you with like the Lycan Zoo later on because it's just additional slow onto the creeps, like additional damage. So interesting to see what Junaid's build is going to be. Probably like Maelstrom. BKB, does he need it?
That's actually an interesting question. I don't think he does. Like, he probably can get away without having it. But at the same time,
you don't have to build BKB. Like that's.
I'm just thinking, like, how often do you get Ember Spirit games where there's literally only one source of lockdown, right?
And you can dodge it.
Yeah.
Like, slide of first.
You're like, oh, shackle shot, bye. Disruption doesn't really affect Ember Spirit at all. In fact, disruption is often the worst spell to use against them because that enables him to just say, oh, sweet, remnant timing, awesome. I'm gonna get myself out to safety. No worries
if you
here.
have one out, otherwise it's horrible. Go my remnant, and it's just like moonwalking next.
And it's like, it's going nowhere.
Like what's happening here? Something that I want to speak about is like I really like AA with Ember though. Like Ice Vortex with Ember's all of Ember's early damage
Oof.
Like level 1 is a 12% amp.
Yep.
Like that's so
It's
basically
crazy.
your Ember's doing pure damage because the status resistance is basically almost gone.
It's like giving him a free Aether Rinse. Just like, oh, here you go. Here's some bonus damage for yourself. Don't worry about it. And you don't have to commit anything for it.
It's really nice. Like this Ember, like burst heavy already. He can hunt with AA just by landing a shackle, and AA drops a ice vortex on the ground. That's it. Ice vortex, cold feet. Someone's dead.
Absolutely.
Interesting to see that they went with this Lycan pick. Like it really. I guess this is Lycan is gonna just push down lanes, and you have to deal with him so Medusa can actually do things. Something cute here, tethered to the wolf.
Nice. Some poison out. B. Oof, they will be very happy to get this kill. This will be some salt, but they missed everything. Power shot missed. They've missed like 3 poison stacks. B's gonna live. B juking out Jace again. But okay, you can't dodge everything, my friend. Okay, eventually he will take it.
Made them work for it. Made them work for it. Okay, is that the strat? IO tethers wolves and runs down people like the entire game, and then when it's like Helm of the Overlord, he just tethers that.
That might be the strat. Oh. That might be how IO decides to play this game.
So interesting to see Phyco starting off with a slider first, but no Bloodstone early on. Usually, like when you do this, like you get a Bloodstone against the Wind Ranger, but I guess he feels like he's still deciding if he's bottle rushing, so probably get it afterwards.
One thing I do find interesting about this lane.
He's dead again.
Is he? How many stacks? Let's see. Can he juke? The third one will kill him with 2 right clicks. And a little bit more damage. Baron Biceps takes out the IO down bottom. The 4th one connects, but he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Gets back to the tower. Bottom lane. This is not good to lose an IO in this situation this early on. At the very least, it wasn't the first blood. And Nemi, of course, not the one that gets taken out in that situation. But for Exdee, they'll be very happy to get that kind of kill. It's just free gold effectively for Baron Biceps. And they need this Moz to be very over-leveled, it feels, this game. Because middle... How is that even possible? Wait, what? Okay,
no,
okay.
He played him with a Fairy Fire. He played it like he had this Ember had a Fairy Fire. There's no Fairy Fire in his inventory. He played him with a Fairy Fire on the tower. Must have been.
Dude, like, isn't this supposed to be a lane matchup that Wind Ranger comes away on the advantage in? How the... Junaid is just out of his mind today, honestly.
Yeah,
just playing really well.
The man is playing really well. Like, he's been on point that first game. He also got them an edge in the early game, which allowed them to go into the mid game on even terms because it was a bit rough. But he's been... I'm thinking about this now. Like, Lycan versus Anti-Mage doesn't feel good.
Nah, it sucks.
Like,
I'd hate to be the Lycan, yeah.
Yeah, you can never, like... Like, Remedy can even just get, like a Orb of Venom here, and then that doesn't even have to finish it. Just constantly poke them.
You can't, like, approach this lane. It's very difficult for you to be in this position.
That's not
like...
nice for B, though. Disruption, and then has to fight anti-mage illusions.
Lol.
Like, that's not fun.
Remedy's just like, my bad, dog, you know? I can't do anything about that situation, my friend. But this is not going to be a good lane for this Lycan. He's going to have an absolutely torrid time here.
Look at the CS start, though.
Damn. Just major domination right now for Exdee in all 3 lanes, which is really problematic because they've also gotten kills in 2 of those lanes.
Yeah, so sitting comfy at the moment. This top lane is at least pushing in, so Astra will probably... Oh, yeah, these salves just got cancelled by AA from the tree line.
Feels bad. Feels bad.
Oh, and B's going for the bounty rune as well. You said he couldn't do this with the AA.
Oh my god,
He's doing
no
it
way.
today.
Don't do this to me, B. Don't do this. You can't do it with Ancient Apparition, my friend. You're not allowed to be this good at Dota, so please, you know, show some respect.
We overhyped that a lot, but that was fun.
Oh my goodness. You know what I'm loving actually about this laning phase right here is that little... Oh, Phycodamage is about to die again. Oh my god.
Oh, the Bloodstone. He's got the Bloodstone on this Ember.
Oh, yet again, it looked like he got jebaited in. Thought he could maybe get the kill on Junaid, and that would have accelerated him directly back into the game, but instead he gets taken advantage of. And now in the bottom lane, we see Nibbling Monkey getting brought down. God has rebuked you and found you wanting. The IO's gone, and without IO being in this lane, Nemi just was not going to take the risk of getting forward to farm. He's seen what can happen in this lane. That's going to affect the overall CS of himself. Will we have a kill here top? Not
just
yet.
kill
Doesn't
that.
seem like Remedy wants to die for it. But Jace is completely out of mana. This is not a good position to be in. Shadow Demon is not a hero that does much in this lane without mana. And now Remedy wants to run down Astra, who also is out of mana right now. Fortunately for him, does have 2 points into the Feral Impulse. Jace, though, doesn't have such fortunate... And he will end up dying. Astra, at the very least, does get the counter kill onto B. It's going to be full experience for himself. But yeah, Remedy just buys Ring of Health and the lane is fine.
Yeah, and he's good. Then this lane gets even like more like rough because at least you're not effectively trading HP with him at the moment. But and I think Astra he's not gonna like get any mana here. Like at least now they're hitting each other on equal footing.
Astra might get frozen though. Will he? Nice find. Remedy forced to jump back once he sees that Jace is in with full stick of mana. Not really worth risking your life to play around a Shadow Demon there. And Astra, you know, I love that Remedy has will have Ring of Health coming in. Astra already has the Helm of the Iron Will. This item is stupid. Honestly, please change it. Do something to it. Like, I'm tired of seeing it every single game.
It's so like everyone is getting like a value Ring of Health. I think a value Helm of Iron Will is even better.
Yep, agreed. Armor, HP regen. What more could you possibly want? B will end up dying here in the top lane, and Astra and Jace happy to get it. Does mean that Jace has expended his entire pool of mana, but I think they should give him those creeps so he gets closer to these arcane boots. Get them ASAP, help support Astra as well so he can at least summon a wolf or two. Feels like his little buddies have just been kept out of this lane completely thanks to Remedy always running him down. It sucks, it's not fun.
Like I remember back in the day when anti-mage was a more prominent pick, and then every game I was like, okay, this is a good Tide Hunter game, and I picked Tide, and then I just picked anti-mage. And you're like, okay, like I'm not anchor smashing anything in this lane, so like, let's level stand.
Oh god, Nemi got caught onto a tree with the Spear of Mars, almost lost his life. Fortunately, Nibbling Monkey is there with the tether. They're getting the slow out onto Burn Biceps, and Nemi is happy to throw in right clicks. Beautiful impale coming in from Jurek.
Really impressed with Jurek though. Like I know he hasn't played competitive in a while, but he's not missing a beat. He's playing well. Even that Ruby game, the last game, did more than his part. Played really well.
Yeah. It's been a very good game overall. And he feels like he's slotted in perfectly into the team, right? We haven't seen a lot of the growing pains that can be there when you not only have a new player in the team, replacing one of your standout players of the season, but also a slight role swap between the two supports. But if you just watched this game and you didn't know that Jericho was supposed to be the stand-in, you would have no idea. He's playing so well with the boys.
Yeah, he's fulfilling his role extremely well. And this is a more active hero than the last one, because the last game he always kind of had to look for the grip or ravage. So interesting to see what he's going to be doing with this Nyx assassin.
This Nyx is certainly, if he's able to get off the items that he needs. I'm imagining this game we want to use at some point. I think it's going to look so good. And Phyco once again involved in the game prop. Oh, he comes across Remedy. Shackle shot though. No shield. The spell shield there at the right time prevents the shackle shot from being able to latch out. We mentioned the lack of lockdown, how easy it is to dodge, and now Junaid shows up. He's going to look for Jace, and it looks like it's going to be the Ember Spirit's rotation that's successful, getting himself a killing spree. Phycodamage, at the very least, wanted to get something back from a torrid start to this game, but not only does he get nothing back, he actually sets up for Ember Spirit to head top with no guilds, because Ember Spirit's like, oh sweet, I'm not going to end up taking damage on the tower for making that rotation. Awesome.
Yeah, that was a... I think the movement by Phyco was right, but like finding the anti-mage there was unfortunate. Remedy quick on the fingers and just getting that reflect off. Like I actually think Phyco was fortunate not to go down there.
Yeah, had Junaid come in a little bit sooner, that would have probably been another death on Phycodamage. So quite happy for him. I think that's probably after the shackle shot landed. They were like, oh Junaid, come. He's like, oh, I'll pull through, and it was a little bit too late. Doesn't matter though. It's a DD on Ember, like you mentioned. And in the top lane, they're trying to throw the Zoo at the tower, but with this DD and a lot of damage, they might try to defend this as Asteroid running forward for B, but B just will TP out in front of their face. There's no lockdown. Like, the lack of lockdown is already starting to become such a huge problem right now for the side of Punx.
Mars needs to TP top right now. He's running back to base.
I got forced out of the lane. Looks like this tower is going to fall. Gonna fall before the Mars even gets to the fountain itself, and although this hasn't been the best of times in the laning phase, eventually if you're playing this Lycan, you get to this point where you're able to do stuff like this, and the tower's gone. Space opened up in the top lane. Remedy forced back into the jungle. So this will slightly slow down the anti-mage, giving the Medusa a bit more time to catch up.
Yeah, that's probably what Punks were trying to do with this pick. Like, yes, the lanes might go hard, but the moment I'm 6, I'm gonna like HOD rush, just take this tower, opens up the map. We can control these small camps in the top area. It also opens up Medusa's triangle a little bit more for her when she does decide to go there. What is Nemi going here? They're actually running at the bottom. They're going on IO.
Now look for him. Activate the first arena of the game. Beautiful rebuke on the 2 with the cold feed as well out onto Nibbling Monkey. Will be the first kill. Not just yet though. Saved at the last second by Jace. Will still end up dying, but this might give the opportunity for the turnaround kill. Baron Biceps. Will he get hit with the 3rd poison? Yes, he does, and he ticks out. But unfortunately, while all of this is happening, in the mid lane, Phycodamage dies again. Junaid triggers the double damage rune. Solo chases down the Wind Ranger. And Nibbling Monkey, he bought back. He has no one to tether to. Will at least find Astra. Junaid will not make the jump. That was really, really close. But it does mean that Astra had to come middle to keep the IO alive. Opens up a bit more space top for Remedy again.
They need to watch out. He still has this DD. Like, he can still throw some damage out here. I think with that bottom as well, Baron pressured that spear a little. He was waiting for the double rebuke. Oh, Junaid?
Junaid is taking some damage, but Jarek's also here, invised up. Oh, Ice Blast, first one of the game, will only land onto Astra. Not enough damage for a kill just yet. Phycodamage with the focus fire, trying to chase Junaid down, doing the damage, but he's not farmed enough, doesn't have a javelin even. Turns around, Shackle Shot will find B. As well, Anti-Mage shows up for the first time to a fight, gets off the big Mana Void. And it is enough to take Jace down. Gives him quite a bit of gold, and he immediately dips back into the jungle here, Notahero. He's going to get such a decent timing on this battlefield.
And that shapeshift use, that's kind of the tempo for Punks at the moment. Like, 100 seconds now, no shapeshift. They're going to have to... They're going for...
Oof, Phycodamage was in a bad place. Junaid, will he find the 2 hero steering chains? Not just yet. Nemi shows up with the Stone Gaze. Junaid didn't get caught out with the Shackle Shot, but Demonic Purge will be there. He doesn't have a remnant to jump to. The arena, though, with the Impale as well, coming in from Jarek. They buy enough space for Junaid to escape. Might cost one of these supports their lives, though, as...
Oh, shot!
Shot! Phycodamage gets the kill. B turns in, throws out the Ice Blast onto Nemi and the gang, and they relocate forward. They're looking for this B kill, and Phycodamage with yet another power shot will find it. 2 heroes will fall from him, and they get 3 overall. Finally, Punks get something going. And I'm getting some flashbacks to game number 1. A torrid early game for Phycodamage, but these mid-game fights, he just shows up and uses his spells perfectly.
The thing is, Punks is not playing the script that Exdee think they're going to play. Medusa's in the middle of these fights, Snare. 12 minutes into the game, Medusa's here. Like, Dragon Lance, that's it.
They've taken the tower. They've gotten the kill, middle. D-Lance is all she needs. Phycodamage, though, will get caught out with the cold feet, excuse me, and that's going to be a kill. Will they get more out of this? Jarak has Impale in a moment, looking for Nibbling Monkey. Will he get him? Yes, he will. It's going to be a double kill for Junaid, thanks to the Sleight of Fist. So the positioning, potentially not the best here. And Punk's also going to lose Jace in front of the tier 1 tower. Exdee punch back hard.
Yeah, like immediately, like that little tussle that they gave up, taking it back, gonna put 4 heroes in this mid lane. All the meantime, Anti-Mage is farming, and that's kind of the difference here. Punks is bringing bodies, and yes, it worked out for them in that engagement because Medusa was there, but Remedy just farming away. He's about what 700 gold away. Oh, immediately flicks the Shackle Shot bottom. Oh, that was immediately like, and that was from the tree line.
Yeah. He didn't even get the vision, but he just caught it for a second. These young carry players, man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like my fingers don't click that fast anymore.
Unfortunately. Yeah, we watched, man.
We watched, man.
the only button that we can click that quickly is to type the question mark. You know, that's the only thing.
Yeah. Preset that. Have it ready. One of the mouse hotkeys.
Listen, yeah, we put them like for BAMI. Those are macroed. Everything is macroed like that.
My scripts for BMing. Oh, Jarek is hunting. They know though. The creep ran into the next day for a little bit, and they aggroed to the side. So I think Phyco got a glimpse of that, and they moved away. But he's still looking.
Why did Phyco stay around, and why did he throw out that power shot? He could easily have gotten himself caught.
Oh, he got him.
With the Spy Carapace, and the Impale will still be there. Phyco can't run out of this arena as Baron Biceps will make this kill happen. They will miss on the Spear of Mars, but Remedy shows up as well. They've got the Mana Void. Phyco so low. 3 seconds until he can wind run, but it's 3 seconds too long, and he ends up losing his life here. Remedy getting further and further and further ahead on this anti-mage. Battle Fury practically flying in right now.
And Jarek
with the full
read
power
that
trip as
nicely.
well.
Like, he knows Phyco is... Like, the reason Phyco is so successful is because he's a greedy player. Like, he goes, oh, I saw these heroes, but I'm going to quickly farm this camp. And Jarek read him and made that movement almost with the stun, but he didn't. He held it nicely, nice patience, hit it, and then burned in place with the arena immediately afterwards. So, very, very nice. They're also going to get this bottom tier 1 now. So, just lots of movement by Exdee on the map at the moment.
An abject lesson for the Wind Ranger here that sometimes greed is not good. How many times, carry players in chat, let me know, how often have you found yourself dying for that last camp? The last creep is not worth it. Leave the range creep alone. Just go home sometimes. And of course, for speaking in chat, a reminder that if you type GG Easy into the chat right now, you stand a chance of winning yourself an E-Tech Spaceman Mouse Pad. The things are pretty epic, so make sure you get those chats going. Remember, you can only type it once. No spaces, just GG Easy. Nothing funny, no shenanigans, or BE is gonna send an ice blast to your house, and you don't want that.
Gonna have a random Jarek bug walking through your living room. That sounds terrifying. Well, what is more terrifying? Like Nyx in your living room or Medusa?
I am beyond terrified of snakes, so Medusa has, this is a lot of slithering coming in from this hero, so I would this would actually just kill me out of sheer frightening. Like the terror would be too much.
It's just the snake lady walking into your house.
Yep. And snake lady herself gonna get off the stone gaze here to try and get herself out of danger in this mid lane. Jarek, so with the spike carapace will stay alive. Junaid looking to get forward. B does have the Ice Blast. Doesn't want to commit it until they're certain they can land it onto multiple heroes. Although these heroes are falling very low, and Punx not respecting the magical damage just yet. Phycodamage. Yo, Phycodamage has no respect in this game. Impale will catch him. He's in some danger. There's going to be the cold feet. He's running forward looking for PE, but the Ice Blast is going to connect onto and kill him. And now Nibbling Monkey doesn't have a tether available, so he dies as well. 2 heroes dead. Phycodamage literally dragged his team into a bad and psychotic situation.
He's also overcommitting. Like, he's really falling behind on his timings. We're looking at 15 minutes. Like, he's about halfway to finishing his Maelstrom. And he needs a BKB afterwards as well. I won't even be surprised if he just locks this Javelin and goes straight bottom.
Bottom lane, we have some danger. Astra inside of the arena. No shapeshift available, no allies nearby. They're trying to get the TPs in to help, but Io will not be there in time. Mana Void comes in from Remedy.
Just takes it. Guys, it's for my Battle Fury. We already had Battle Fury. No, it's for my Battle Fury.
It's for my second Battle Fury, bro.
Yeah. Just nice little moves. Ember also applied pressure onto the Shadow Demon in the middle. Had to like disrupt to get away. It's just like what we said, like what allows them to play Dota on the map, and I don't see Punx having tools to allow them to play Dota on the map without Lycan Shapeshift and Windrunner actually having a good game. But we said like he's missing his timings. Winner's on 5.3k net worth at the moment. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the net worth at the moment. It's not where he wants to be.
I mean, let's compare and contrast, right? This Mars for Baron Bicep is at present having a delivery coming through from the courier to give him a Blink Dagger. And simply having that Blink Dagger on the courier, even though he has the same and slightly less net worth than this Wind Ranger, it's going to be more effective than anything that she has in her inventory right now. Still far away from having the Maelstrom, but even when she gets that, the game doesn't start for her until BKB emerges. Otherwise, pretty much every spell that Exdee have been throwing out have had major impacts against this hero. But I think Phycodamage is also not helping his own cause, right? He's been overly aggressive to his detriment, even in situations where he absolutely shouldn't be. Like, why are you power shotting past Jarek? And why are you running in onto Junaid? Ice Blast though will not latch thanks to the save, but unfortunately there's just too much damage. Nemi with the Stone Gaze. Yes, these heroes will get stoned up, but Phycodamage is already gone. Now, will Junaid want to chase for more? They no longer have access to the Ice Blast, but Junaid still has a lot of damage to come out from all of his spells. Looking for Nibbling Monkey. Will he kill him? Not just yet. Will be forced away. The tier 2 tower as well as Nemi is too much. But now here comes the anti-mage. The Mana Void bursts onto Nibbling Monkey. Takes away most of the Medusa's life. And a couple of right clicks later, Junaid will take the real life. Astra try to TP out in front of all their faces. Sadly, nothing doing. Easy kill. Everyone's dead, and Exdee.
They call it.
Oh, call it!
Yeah,
What?
they can't do anything with this draft. Like, we're talking about Phyco being too aggressive, but Shackle Shot is their only tool to set up something on the map. That's the only tool to do something on the map. And I think they've kind of realized that, hey, we drafted ourselves into a corner here. We can't do anything. Like, this Mars is running at us. Nyx is running at us. Ember is running at us. We don't have anything to counteract this. What is the big team fight ultimates on the side of Punx here? There's nothing. You've got Stone Gaze. Nothing else is big and team fighty and terrifying. So just decide to call it. That was so unexpected though. That was very unexpected.
It was very unexpected when they called the GG, but like you mentioned, they just recognized where they were in the game. And I think the real issue for them is this draft literally unplayable unless you have phenomenal lanes, right? And we didn't get to see even a single part of the map that went in their favor for the side of Punx. Every lane went badly, every lane went poorly. But I think that this game might still have been playable. Like you mentioned, Phycodamage is the one that was going to be opening up the tempo, creating initiation for them, doing everything that he can to at least allow the team to play Dota. But if he's the one that's having the worst game out of all of them, it's just...
Like, you don't have a single stun on your supports. Your offlaner is not a TI, they phrase it, the offlaners are stunners. That was literally their role. That's not your offlaner. You've got this Lycan pick. And yeah, they just didn't have ways to fight. Like, they tried, those middle engagements, they tried to bring it back. They did like little counter plays and stuff. But it was just way easier for Exdee to play Dota, and they were the ones with the anti-mage.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you've seen an anti-mage win in the first 20 minutes of a game with their full GG? In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest game that we've had here in the EGL Season 2. And wow, also very rare that we have performances like this from Ember Spirits. Junaid, just today in general, has been amazing. But honestly, this matchup, not supposed to go this good, right? But he made it look like this is a matchup where Wind Ranger should get dumpstered. And woof, Junaid just out here. Junaid just out here. You know, what a player.
Very solid. Very, very solid. Just an all-round performance. Like, we Junaid, both games very good. And like we spoke about B in that first game. So, and the second game, like you said before the series even started, a lot of games are kind of at the moment decided in the draft. And I think this was one of them, the second game. Yeah. It was definitely decided in the draft.
Like, the first game could have gone either way, even with those draws. But the second one, Punx really didn't give themselves any favors. And the way it sits right now, Exdee, they've done it. Exdee have gotten themselves what they wanted. They were here for the 2-0 and they got the 2-0 and they're through. They're fourth now, at least fourth. They can still go higher. The journey is not over for them, and they'll be taking on White Rabbit Gaming next. And of course, in terms of people who are winning, it's not just Exdee who's a winner. A Tactical Mango, wherever you are, please just make sure that you respond to the chat here from the channel, and you will have won yourself that Spaceman Mouse Pad. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Exdee. And, you know, before, like, still thinking about this game and thinking about what we just saw here, given how bad the mid lane was, right? Obviously, that's where we can easily identify where the large source of their loss came from. What does the game look like if the lane goes evenly? If the lane doesn't become a dumpster fest against
I still think they run into the same problems. Like you could see Phyco was trying to make space on the map because no other hero could do it. Even if this Wind Ranger had like a Maelstrom early on, like, he still needs to hit that shackle shot, and the target needs to be by himself. Because even if he hits the shackle, he starts channeling his ulti. Ember can run away from you. There's a Nyx that's going to interrupt stuff. Maelstrom procs can like stun you because of Carapace. There's just so much that he had to do this game. They didn't have, like, I think this Lycan pick is fine, but then your pos 4 needs to be kind of like a mini offlaner. You need to have like a shaker or like, I don't know, like just something, a clockwork or something that can cause space on the map that doesn't require your entire team to be there.
Yeah, I think that was a way too big of a problem here, that Punx couldn't do anything unless everyone was there. And most of the time when everyone's there, they're not even doing anything aggressive. All they're doing is trying to save each other, right? Being like, oh snap, this person's in trouble. Let's use disruption on him. Let's try to tether this other target. Let's use Stone Gaze. I think we only saw one aggressive Stone Gaze. Every other Stone Gaze used in this game was not even defensive to hold ground and deal damage, but it was sort of like, we need a run. We're just trying to bail each other out of the situation. And I don't feel you can play Deucer like that nowadays anymore, at the very least.
No.
Yeah, I also don't think it helps a lot that Nibbling Monkey kept dying down bottom. IO is one of these supports, right, which, funnily enough, needs a lot of levels. And I think one of the things that kind of sucks about this IO is not only does he sap levels from your Medusa, but if the hero isn't actually doing well with the Medusa, then you're not getting anything out of the game. So sadly, they don't get what they needed. They don't get the victory. They are out of the main competition. They're not done just yet, though. They still have to play in the 5th, 6th qualifiers. Well, finisher. I don't know if it's a qualifier or whatever. But to determine who gets into the money, only the top 5 here at EGL One Season 2 get into that prize pool distribution. Of course, because that journey is not completely over just yet from Punx, not only are we going to see them again on screen, we're also going to hear from them directly. We have Jace from the team. Unfortunately, he has just copped an L, has just lost to Exdee, but we're still going to hear from him. He's still not just a winner for having won so many games leading up to this, but a winner for having been part of a team that they've constructed that's clearly gotten better over time, and that clearly has a future. It's always amazing to see. So Jace, let's hear from him whether or not we have the situation. Do we have him on the line? Jace,
how's it guys? I'm doing well, you know.
How's Jace?
Could be better if I got the win.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
well played though, man. Like you guys up to this point has been a highlight reel. Your team has been functioning well. I know this has been a loss, and I know it's a bit tough, but like just tell us a bit about like the team, how you guys have grown. Like how has Astro slotted in Gambino's place? Just give us a bit of Punx.
Well, I feel like Asher's done really, really well since he's came in. Like, we had a few roster changes this year. Obviously, we changed our mid for Soup like twice. And then, yeah, we got the Asher now. So now we finally have like a stable roster again. We're just trying to practice, trying to build as a team, basically. I wanted to say like a huge thank you to like all the guys that support us, like Gambino, Jacques, yeah, all the people from the sidelines. And thanks to EveTech hosting this amazing tournament, trying to bring life into the dead SA scene. We really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do better next time.
Speaking of next time, actually, because you guys, it's not the first tournament, obviously, it's EGL One Season 2. And going from tournament to tournament, right? Or from one iteration of the tournament to the next. Obviously, last time around, the journey ended pretty much in the same slot, unfortunately for y'all. But I do think definitely the team looks a lot stronger, right? And how do you feel? Like last time around, you came 5th, 6th against Exdee, pretty much the same matchup, right? Do you feel like it was different this go around in terms of how it went in the game itself? How do you feel the team has evolved since the last showing that you all had together?
Oh, well, the last time we played them, I remember we got knocked out. We kind of just got stomped really hard, game 1 and 2. This time we were a lot more happy with game 1. We felt like our draft was better than theirs. We felt like we played it well up to a point. Like we got to like a kind of unideal situation after the laning phase. But we did our best, you know, we grouped up, we did what we had to. They split the map and outplayed us. We weren't really prepared for them to split the lanes like that. And they just kind of outmaneuvered us on the map, so they beat us that way. Something we'll have to practice and work on. I guess that there's just a few areas, you know, we keep messing up in that we're looking at trying to improve.
Talk to us about that game 2 draft though, because we were sort of puzzling over where the Lycan was supposed to slot in. Like the other heroes, we could sort of see the rationale behind, you know, backup for the Medusa in many respects, as well as this Wind Ranger to help control their tempo. But it felt we didn't fully understand it, like where the Lycan was supposed to slot in, like outside of just distracting the rest of Exdee out all across the map and giving them some degree of push. But do you feel like you could have used a little bit more team fight instead of that hero at the end of the draft?
Yeah, well, I guess looking back, there were a lot of other heroes that could have worked. Obviously, the Lycan didn't do well at all. Maybe after we saw the AM, we had to switch it up. Basically, we were kind of planning to run the Lycan. We wanted to just kind of run them over. Like in the last finals of SAE, we lost to them 3-2, and our 2 wins were with Beastmaster group up strats. So now they're first banning the Beastmaster every game. So we tried to just kind of get a different group up zoo hero. Yeah, wasn't as strong, but yeah. You'll see more Lycan from us.
Awesome. I like that.
Before we let you go, Jace, one final thing we want to ask, right? Obviously, there's 4 teams left that are in the tournament right now. WRG is still in it. Exdee, of course, have just gotten themselves into that 4th place slot. And we have the big boys of Energy and Sinister 5 still waiting in the winner bracket final. Who do you rate going forward? Like, out of those 4 teams, how would you give the order for what we expect over the next 2 weeks?
I'll give it to you right now. I think it's going to be Energy number 1. They're going to beat Sin 5 3-2 in the finals. It's going to be insane.
Yes.
Exdee will come 3rd. White Rabbit will come 4th. Really, that's my prediction.
Okay, Jason's predictions on the board. I'm gonna hold him to this.
I'll take it one step further, right? So Sin
let's
5
hear
win
it.
game 1, Energy win
Okay.
game 2 and 3, Sin 5 wins game 4, Energy wins game 5. Done.
Most picked hero? Most picked hero?
Oof, that's a really hard one.
Like it.
I think Viper probably. Viper, yeah, just because like Tide is gonna get banned, and then Viper's gonna slot in. He's gonna be like the default jumper.
Okay.
They're gonna
And one final thing, you have a matchup now, 5th-6th matchup coming in against the side of the Face It Boys. Last time, of course, you were able to clinch that 5th place matchup, right? And get yourself into that slot. How do you feel? Do you think that the Face It Boys will make it more difficult than Frostbite made it last time? Or do you think that you have their number and what you've seen from them and what you've seen from yourselves this season is good enough that you still back yourselves?
I think they've been playing well, but we're gonna head into that match very confident. Yeah, we'll take him down. We'll give Tiger the 2-0.
The Jays will be giving Tiger the 2-0. So thank you so much. Shout out to you.
Some more question marks as well.
Okay, yeah. Well, we gotta spice it up, you know. Keep it interesting.
That was certainly an interesting game, man. Every game, like Notahero was mentioning earlier, every single series, every single game that y'all have played has been interesting, has been entertaining, and y'all have put on a delightful tournament. You know, as much as you might be thanking the tournament organizers for putting this together, it's nothing without the teams. And y'all, pretty much, I never want to see an iteration of this tournament without Punx within it. So thank you so much, Jace, not just for being part of the tournament, but like you mentioned, the scene is we're rebuilding and we're in a better place because of teams like yours sticking together, sticking it out, getting better, and just grinding. So shout out to you for doing that for so consistently and for so long. Like, might not be long for a lot of people overseas, but we all know that for here it really does make a difference. So thank you, Jace. And before we let you go, anything that you want to say to, you actually have fans, by the way, you should know that. So what you want to put out to the people before we step off the mic here?
I just want to say thanks to everyone for supporting. Thanks to everyone who tunes in and watches our games. Yeah, thanks to the ETech guys. Yeah, it's been a great experience. Thanks for having me.
Well,
Awesome.
I think we should definitely echo that. And thank you, Jace, for coming through for us. Notahero, now that we have heard from Jace, we have heard from the one that has... it came so close. Like he mentioned, game 1, I think we both favored their draft. Felt really good. It's just, like he said, it almost mirrored exactly what we were saying, right? They weren't prepared for exactly how Exdee adapted the game style.
Yeah.
Still a team definitely to watch out for, right? Going into the future.
100%. They're just gonna get better.
Yeah. So with Punx now down into that 5th place, we have 4 teams remaining. That means that every single game that comes up now is a podium game and has a potential to determine the future, not just of the teams in that one matchup, but where they land overall in the tournament.
Do not miss any of these because they are
Absolutely.
crackers. They're gonna be crackers.
Exdee versus WRG, Sinister 5 versus Energy Esports, and we don't know what matchups happen after that. So, Premier SA Dota coming up. You do not want to miss it. Make sure that you are following the channel. Make sure you've got the notifications enabled as well so that you know exactly when the game is going live. And before we sign off right now, Notahero, a final question for you. Where can the people find you on the social medias? How can they get a hold of the knowledge and the wisdom of Notahero?
So the main one is probably Twitter, where the most of the Dota content is being shared. It's Notahero Dota. Straight, simple, just one word, Notahero Dota. And then my co-caster Snare is also pretty vocal on the Twitters, and you're doing some other stuff, interesting things as well with the DPC, which the guys need to jump in and support as well. We want the community to get behind you, and you can reach those heights you're aiming for.
So it's a good thing that I think the announcements have gone out today, that I'm not under NDA anymore. So yes, it's not a secret reveal that you put that out. Close call.
Close call.
And also make sure not just to follow Notahero on Twitter, not just to follow me on Twitter, but to follow the channel on Twitter, Esports ZA. Get abreast of all the action, get abreast of all the highlights, because our producers in the background are putting together a lot of dope content, and you don't want to miss it when it comes out, nor do you want to miss the live games. For now, though, we are going to be signing out. Exdee with the 2-0 victory. They now have bigger challenges. Every single matchup here is going to be monumental going forward. So we will see you then when we continue with the podium matches, with the finales, and with the end of the EGL One Season 2 journey. Thanks for joining us tonight. This has been Snare and Notahero. And when we return next time, it's going to be cracking. It's going to be electric. It's going to be your favorite South African Dota 2 action.